Live. Good to go. All right. One moment, please. Yes. All right, let's do this. 3,
Hello.
2, 1. GoNintendo Podcast, webisode 899.
899.
Did you 99? The Wordier Podcast. Mom Brain.
Yes.
Tell us about Wordier, please. Speak loudly and proudly into the microphone.
Yes, I can.
There we go. I wanted to say this at the start of the show because I still get people saying like everybody else is quiet. When I talk on the podcast, I'm close to the mic, but I'm also like radio voiced, for lack of a better term. Like that's probably why I get tired as I'm doing the show, because I'm like really emphasizing everything. So just putting that note out there.
Well, I'd like to start out before I do that by saying happy birthday, Grantimus.
40 years old.
Yeah.
40 years young.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if perhaps George could do the honors.
George.
Oh. How's Josh going to feel about that?
I know.
A duet, perhaps?
Yeah, I could do that.
Um.
Take it away.
I'm the world's best singer.
Well,
I'm the world's best singer.
Oh boy! All right.
Doesn't sound like George to me. Too much of a chip on his shoulder.
Oh dear. Well, he's getting ready. Okay. Give you the floor, fellas.
Look at his face. He's really going for it. What a duet. What a duet.
And many more.
Can't believe it happened. Can't believe it happened.
It's no rumor. Grantimus is 40.
There you go.
Okay, so let's get serious, guys. Come on.
40 limes to you.
Wow.
Okay.
40 limes.
All right, George, whatever you say.
Wordier.
For he's a very lime fellow. All right, George. All right, George. Just throwing in lime anywhere now, not even where it's a
Okay. Wordier's black orbs shine with an uncanny light when the Pokemon is erecting invisible barriers.
Hell yeah.
Erecting.
Oh my.
The fur shed from its beard retains heat well and is a highly useful material for winter clothing. Well, Ramit, I guess you're trying to keep me warm when I find your beard hairs woven into all my clothing.
You don't know this, but you ask for them at night while you're sleeping. That's why I put them in there.
I ask for nothing at night while I'm sleeping.
You don't know what you do while you're sleeping.
I think I do.
Drool, fart, lots of that, but
You stop.
you.
When was the last time you heard me farting in my sleep?
Like 2 nights ago?
Really? From all the way downstairs?
I mean, you also sleep on the couch here. Like you take
Sometimes.
naps. Yeah. I like how you're like, when would you hear me sleep? I only sleep all the time. Like there's plenty of opportunities.
Anyway.
So does that mean that her asking for your beard hairs in her mouth while she's sleeping is true as well? Or
It's
did you
true.
make that
Yeah.
up?
100% true.
Oh, okay.
My farts are actually telling him.
Oh,
that
she's throwing her voice.
That's what you're hearing. That's what you're hearing.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Mom, please finish this Pokemon.
Okie dokie. They're 5 feet, 11 inches tall, 209 pounds, male and female. And the category is Big Horn. Abilities include Intimidate. When the Pokemon enters a battle, it intimidates opposing Pokemon and makes them cower, lowering their attack stats. And Frisk.
Stop and frisk.
When it enters a battle, the Pokemon can check an opposing Pokemon's held item.
Thanks,
and that
Mom
is
Brain.
the end of
When it comes
Pokemon
into
section.
a battle, the Pokemon can check another Pokemon's pockets.
Well, it is Frisk.
Only
so
if
I
that
guess
Pokemon
would
is
be
a
true.
male Pokemon, because female Pokemon pockets can carry nothing.
Oh, I get it. It's a joke about female pant pockets aren't real. They're
Although
just.
these pant pockets, I mean,
Hey,
Ooh.
this thing. Remember?
these pant pockets
There we
are
go.
huge.
It's a little see-through and you stretch it out that far, Mom B.
parts
Mommy.
like everybody else.
Thanks, Mom Brain. We appreciate it. Hello, Do Michaels.
Ooh,
Hello, Nicky Hill.
So,
Hello, Josh Grobot.
A big hello to my fans.
Many of them out there. And hello, George. Good to hear from you.
Bon George, no.
Thanks for joining us as always. Let me say hello to our Discord friends. Oh my God. Hello, Alternus Liz, 10th Division, Roth, Nicky Hill, Super Sanchez,
God!
Radical Defect, No Blade, No Bows, Giant Reggie, Mycrotic, Grantimus, again, happy birthday, Grantimus, Steve Irwin, RIP, Rosemary the Farmer, Hiley and Tom. We got everybody in here. Boy, pressure's on. We got to have a good show today. Hello, Vachi and
Long
Kurt
ago.
Dog and Drake and anybody else that comes in. I will try and catch you and say hello. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
very cool.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Anybody? I always. It was a busy week. Nintendo financial information. It was a nightmare. I'm a little more tired than usual. I always start the show by saying some topics that I want to talk about. But what about you guys? Is there anything you want to talk about?
Nope.
All right. All right.
You know,
Oh, here we go.
something that isn't talked about often enough is the fact that
Women's
many
pockets. We talked about that.
that's true.
Many pants pockets for women do not serve a purpose.
Many people with cervixes
Hi, Tony.
experience
That wasn't meant at Tony.
That's
Or
right.
maybe
Yes.
it was.
I just happened to see Tony.
experience everybody's familiar with menopause, but are you familiar with perimenopause? Because if you're not, get yourself familiar. Not enough people talk about it. People identify menopause with getting old and getting old with bad things, but really, people who menstruate for a lot of years, and then it stops and life gets better. So take some time to educate yourselves on perimenopause.
Perimenopause. That's like a musician or something, right?
Absolutely.
You guys
That's
get
what,
Terry
uh,
Manilow and
perimenopause?
perimenopause.
That's what Perry the Platypus changed his name to after that show, and
That's
he went to
correct.
perimenopause.
So something people don't think about or talk about or know about often enough. And
Is it
I think
NSF pod.
Yes, Hiley and Tom
No.
says the technical term, please. It's hoo-ha.
the cervix is,
It's a
Not-
hoo-ha.
but the cervix isn't the hoo-ha.
See, no, that's you. You think a hoo-ha is something else. A hoo-ha could be anything down there.
Really?
Do you
Yeah.
know anything about
Do I
anything
have a
down
hoo-ha?
there?
Do I know anything about a hoo-ha? Yes, definitely. Everybody's got a hoo-ha.
Mm.
Oh,
Anything below the waist and above the knee is your hoo-ha. Excuse me, get your hands off my hoo-ha.
Okay, all right.
Well, Mom Brain, thanks
What
for
are the
sharing. I was
symptoms we
talking
should
about,
look
like,
out for?
Huh?
Are they called symptoms or just?
Oh yeah. If you,
Can we talk
It's-
about this? Is it safe?
I mean, it's just like pooping or peeing. We talk about that all the
Oh
time.
my God!
right?
Do I have perimenopause?
You might.
I poop and pee.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
know,
mean,
if you're a good boy and you go to bed and you pray hard enough, you could have perimenopause.
You could get visited by perimenopause.
That's right.
That's right.
Menopause.
Manopause.
I'm just saying,
John
look
Reggie
into
says,
it.
I
I'm
wonder
not-
what the crazy
Okay.
Colonel art is going to look like this week. Tell
I'm
me
not
about
taking
it.
up time. Everybody.
Mom Brain, please.
I'm
the
not-
microphone.
I'm not. You're gonna catch perimenopause if you touch me. I'm kidding. No, I'm not taking up everybody's time with that. It's
Hi, Nico Darunia.
But-
Okay.
just
Hey,
look
wait,
it up.
is
Yeah,
it-
when I was saying
we shouldn't
anything you
even
want
be
to talk
talking
about,
perimenopause because that's what this week's Pokemon evolves into, right?
you spoiled it.
Number 900, baby.
Yeah, hi Red Suits, good to see you. Hi, hey everyone, hope the pod is going well. I'm out for pizza for my mom's birthday. Wowie
Ooh.
zowie.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Doesn't-
Margarita
Doesn't
style
look like
pizza.
something
Everybody
RMC'd be wild
everybody
for.
loves it. We had a group chat with some friends and they sent a picture of a pizza they were having in New York City. And I was like,
Was
and
that somebody who has 2 daughters?
yes.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, and because the funny thing is the conversation before that was about Pizza Hut, and then they sent a picture of that, and they said not Pizza Hut, and then they sent a picture
Here's
of that pizza, and I was like,
Here's something I didn't know I just found out recently. The Cake Boss, Buddy Velastro, I think his name is right. His last name. He's got pizza vending machines where you make the pizza and it like makes it in the machine and spits it out.
It's true.
Man, that's a new low.
Kind of feel like we need to track one of these down and try it out.
I would try.
I mean, I've had like fast food pizza where somebody behind the counter makes it for me, and I'm not sure what I think. Why would you even shake your head to that? You just found out about a grandma pie and you loved it.
I've had margarita pizzas before. I can throw a pile of cheese and sauce on a piece of dough too.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. what?
Oh, we
Jimmy-
got a little
Jimmy
Barnaby
Buffett?
in the chat.
Yes, margarita pizzas are not for me, but if they're your thing, I hope you enjoy them greatly. I have tried them many times, and I tried one recently, and I am still angry about it. But my thing, I
mean, add it to the pile.
I
Yeah.
don't.
No,
It was a very wet,
You're going through
soggy
perimenopause.
experience with cheese that was just like a big glob, and
How is a tomato
was
pie not
oily.
a wet, soggy experience?
because they cook them. I mean,
Okay, so-
admit it. This was
Well,
a
tomato
very
pie is
So
a
the pizza
thicker-
was
is a
undercooked.
thicker-
It could have been.
It was undercooked.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
but
and a tomato pie is usually right. It's like a thicker crust. Right?
yes,
It's like
tomato pie
More
is a much
bready.
thicker crust. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody loved that pizza.
Because it was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like you all like wet piles of mush, and that's fine if you like that, because it was like
Well, I like you.
I feel like
so-
Nice.
if I feel like if I took the pizza and like just I feel like I could have just
Oh,
made it into a dough ball. It would have like it was still in dough form.
and
I
ate
feel
it
like
like
I
a
coulda-
Scotch egg.
that would have worked out better. I think. But yes, I am not knocking anyone who likes margarita pizza. I'm not knocking margarita pizza in general. I'm just saying it is not for me. I don't understand it. I have tried it, but
If-
I don't have to understand
Here's
it.
a good
This is
one.
the thing is
And
that I
Nintendo
don't
says-
understand it. Like it's
I
the
don't.
most basic form of it. Like you just throw some mozzarella
I-
on there. Like it's just
I have to admit, I never turn it down if it's around, but I never order it,
Although-
and I wouldn't because I feel similarly in the fact where it's kind of like, well, just put the cheese like on the whole thing. Like, give me a regular
Yeah.
pizza.
Yes.
I'd rather have that. But a lot of times, if you're at a function and they order like 10 different pizzas, that's when you get to try a margarita
Yes.
pizza. And I'm not angry at it, but it's
but the other
rather
thing
have
is,
normal.
I'm not even sure I would necessarily call that a margarita pizza. I feel like margarita pizza that I'm used to is like I don't even know if they put sauce. It's more like just tomatoes and cheese on there. It's like with oil and
Well,
stuff.
I
look
guess
it up.
traditionally
It's the
it would
basil and
just
the
be
oil that
the
make it.
tomato, right?
So
So
like
then, what would you call that kind of pizza?
that a pizza.
No, wrong. If you're
It's
not
like an
going to call it
American
margarita,
margarita.
No,
Like a
it's like
maybe that.
deconstructed
I'll go with that.
pizza.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, it
I mean,
can't just be
depends on
regular
who-
pizza.
Where you're getting it from. People make pizzas differently. There's the cheese, there's the sauce.
Or
there's
maybe
the
we could
crust,
say
the
it's like
salt.
artisanal pizza,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah, if you want another name for it, sure, but it's not like a traditional American pizza, I guess we'll say.
I've
something
got
like that.
I've got a good one for you. It would be business poison for them, but if Pizza Hut made a margarita pizza, would you try one? You'd have to.
Yeah, I would definitely try it. Yeah, I'll try whatever Pizza Hut does.
He
I
traveled
mean,
4
I
states
eat
to
what
try
they
that.
do now, and it already looks deadly.
By the
So
way,
yeah,
there is a Checkers out by me. It's a little farther. It's,
the one on 22.
it's a little
Oh.
farther. No, the one on 22 is gone.
Let's dox the checkers.
Well, yeah, right.
But never mind.
Okay. So all right, I opened the floor. We had talk about
Merry Penopause.
Merry Penopause. Merry Penopause, everybody. And margarita pizzas, which wasn't even planned. But I do have things that I want to talk
Those are
about.
drag queens. Margarita pizza and Mary Penopause.
First things first, something Deux and I actually talked a little bit about, and I said I'm going to talk about it on a podcast. The situation with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, because that's the original game. I'm talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the new one, the 2023 game. So people are saying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the game that was released in 2023, is very bad. I've heard lots of people say it's very bad. One of the most beloved Call of Duty games is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Yes, the same name, but it came out a long time ago. One of them is Roman numerals. That is the new one. The original one is whatever you
Is
call
the
regular
numerical
numbers.
number.
Yeah.
So it's not a remake.
No.
This
It's
is even more confusing than I thought when I first joked with you about.
So people are very upset with the new game, and they are deciding, because some people are very childish, they've decided to review bomb the game. So they go to sites like Metacritic and what have you to go over and give the game a 0 and say it's garbage, it's the worst game that's ever existed, blah, 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 blah. The problem is they are review bombing the much beloved original Modern Warfare 3. So they're lowering the score of a game that came out over a decade ago, I believe. And they're so basically they're ruining the score of 2 games, a good one and supposedly a bad one. It's just so funny to me that they're so angry that this game is so bad, but they can't take the 2 seconds to figure out which one and make sure they're posting the
It's-
review on the right one. Or
crazy. It's a little
they don't
rash.
know the original one. So they're like, yeah, Modern Warfare 3, here it
That's
is.
what I thought was this situation the whole time. But
It's all possible, but
it does
yes.
seem rash, doesn't it?
It is pretty funny. I don't like review bombing. I think it's a silly idea that goes for review bombing of anything, movies, TV shows, video games, what have you. But I feel there's ways to be constructive with your criticism and actually affect change. But lots of people just want to be angry and mean, so they do things like review bomb. And it has led to now a game that was reviewed highly and praised by many getting its score lowered. So the circle continues, and I don't know what's going to stop it, to tell you the truth. But yes, in this situation, the name certainly doesn't.
How frustrating must it be for developers who work on that franchise, who they're like, I work on one of the most popular game franchises ever, and all the fans hate us. And it's like every single game that comes out, there's some kind of horror behind it. And they're making this like game that, I mean, and yeah, it's not for me or you, but like it's best selling, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the reason they keep farting these out. And can you imagine like being at a party as that developer and just like, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a developer for one of the biggest franchises ever. Everyone hates us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like they hate us
Yeah.
every single time. Like it's got to be so. What's the opposite of fulfilling? Like
Deflating?
Yes, like it's got to be
Teaching. Being a public school
disheartening.
teacher.
It's got to be all of that, don't you think? Like,
Oh, yeah.
because I mean, if you're working on like Tears of the Kingdom and it comes out, you'd scream it from the rooftops. I'd
Yeah.
almost be embarrassed to even talk about work in this situation.
That's why they were saying with Nintendo, Nintendo holds a ridiculously high employee retention rate because everybody that wants to get a job there wants to be a part of Nintendo, and also they know they're going to work on games that more or are very likely to be highly critically acclaimed, and people are going to love them. So when it comes to Call of Duty, there are people who love those games, but yes, it seems like every time a new one comes out, it's the worst ever. There's never been a game worse than this one, and all that.
You're going to be real mad at me, or you're going to make a comment.
What are you talking about?
Why are people review bombing it? I was trying to catch up in the chat,
Hmm.
and then I got a call from my dad. So
Why are they review bombing it? Because they don't like it?
Oh, okay. So it's not because of like the merge or anything.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's
I
people
think it's
saying
because
the
they're-
game is bad.
They're
So
upset
they
that
legitimately don't like it. It's not because somebody is like
Yeah, but
different than them.
there's a difference between legitimately not liking something and expressing that versus review bombing. Like, you don't go give something a 0 because you don't like it. How about
No, if you don't like it, you give it 0.
I think a lot of it.
you give
too
it a
is-
0 if you honestly think it's a 0? And if you honestly think it's a 0, I honestly think you need to rethink your stance. Is it really a 0?
I don't know.
0 to me means broken. You can't play it. Like, it's not functional. That's a 0. Maybe a 1 if you think it's that horrendous of a game. Sure. But a 0, something has to functionally prevent you from playing the game.
Plus,
for
I
a
don't
0.
know for sure, but I think it's not that the game is necessarily that bad. I think it's that the single player is very
Yes.
short, and
I've-
they're like upset that it's like a lackluster like storyline.
I've
Is that
heard
what
the
people
usual.
get Call of Duty. For
Well,
is a
that's
single
the
player?
funny thing. I usually hear. All right,
Like, they
I'm
want-
hearing.
They want more multiplayer, and then they give them more multiplayer, less of a single player. Oh no, we want more single player.
I'm hearing all the usual complaints about multiplayer, so it's nothing different really there. But yes, all the vitriol I've heard has been aimed at the single player campaign, which apparently is very bad and very short. So, but again, let's say you
I
are
mean, if
complaining about
it's
this.
bad and short, that's probably great, right? You don't want it long and bad.
Yeah, it's very true. It's a
All
good
right.
point.
So a 1 then doesn't
so-
get a 0.
So let's say that. Let's look at review scores. Let's say the multiplayer's fine and the single player's bad. Then you would review it a 5 or less. Like it's not going to be a 0 because single player's only one half of the game. Or so I would think some people might argue maybe just a third of the game. But there are people who play plenty of Call of Duty games who never touch the single player ever. So, but yeah, if the game is bad, I think it's important to give reviews that are critical and express your thoughts. Just can you do that, like, you know, in a constructive way and a meaningful way, rather than giving it a 0 and being like, this game is, I'd rather have AIDS and like all stupid. Oh, I almost cursed, all stupid crap like that. Like it's silly. Like, come on. But it is still, as it's doubly silly because they're review bombing the wrong game. So. And that's also
that's the
Activision's
best,
fault because Call of Duty 3 and Call of Duty 3, you can't say them any different. You can't like writing a Roman
one is-
numeral versus a regular number. Yes, but you can't
Yeah.
say that
Yeah,
differently.
you could say
Numbers.
Call of Duty I.
I guess you could.
Maybe that is how you say it.
I guess you could. You're
Or you
right.
say
I.
3
That's what I was thinking.
or
Or Call of Duty.
Okay, yeah. I like that
Kurt
too.
Dog has an excellent suggestion. He said, "New Super Modern Warfare 3." That's perfect. Then you
yeah,
know.
right.
Or it came
That's
out
it.
in 2023, right?
Y-
So couldn't
That
it
is
be
the year of our
like,
Lord.
2020.
2023 instead of 3?
Yeah.
I it could, but I feel like down the road they wouldn't like that because it's going to age it. You know,
Yes,
it's
you don't want to do that. Yeah.
But yeah.
But
And
if you name them all the same, they're timeless.
Mm-hmm. Perfect,
It's
Kurt
true.
Dog. Perfect, Kurt Dog. That's a noise that will forever stick in my head. Whatever that robot's name
Yes.
is, I don't remember, but I hear it saying, "Ay, ay, 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 ay." Give me teens with attitude. Beautiful cat, Ice Dilbert. Beautiful cat, 10th Division. So many great cats in here. Beautiful Mr. Mime, 10th Division. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. What else I got here in the old docket? Oh, another thing I talked to Do about very quickly. I don't follow IGN on TikTok. I don't really follow any game. I don't follow any gaming things on TikTok, but the algorithm knows that I am into games in some way. So very randomly, I'll get something game related.
Found you out.
And I got an IGN video on TikTok.
Does GoNintendo still have a TikTok?
Yes, we just started up the shorts again a couple weeks ago. We've had a hiccup that I won't discuss on the air, but we will be back this week, maybe? Might be
You need
this week.
to sit backwards over a chair and drink a cup of water. That usually helps for hiccups. people
Holding
say.
breath too.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe like that connection to you. And your,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
your-
It might be.
Bear
Yeah,
connect-
it certainly
connect.
could be. But IGN had a TikTok that was asking other IGN employees to name the best video game of all time.
Lots of good ones were
And
mentioned.
I'm not here. See, I was going back and forth on talking about this because I don't want to be like, your best game of all time is wrong, because nobody's best game of all time is wrong. It's not right or wrong. What I think is there's a lot of recency bias with some of these.
Sorry, Reese's? Did you say Reese's?
You got
Reese's
Reese's
Pieces.
on the brain.
But all right, I'm just gonna get
Reese's
into it.
on the mom brain.
So games that were named as, again, they weren't asking people what's your favorite video game. They were asking them what's the best video game of all time. So, you know, if I was asked what's your favorite video game, I could rattle off a whole bunch. I couldn't give you one above all the others. But if somebody asked me what's the best video game of all
Favorite
time,
is different from best.
yes,
I think
if I
that's
was
an
asked
important
best video
difference to
game of
make.
all time, I would factor in games that I might not necessarily play or enjoy, but can recognize as a major achievement for the game industry. But
like
But I
Urban
would-
Champion.
I would beg that becomes then the most important video game, not the best. Know what I mean?
well, I guess we have to figure out what best means then, because all of it funnels down to the same thing. It's going to be filtered through your own lens. What you
Yeah.
think is the best, what you think is the most important, what you think is your favorite.
Those
like
are
it's all the same thing.
interesting. I'd like to know all three of those
But-
answers.
Yes, for best, I would be like, okay, I need to open this up wider to consider best in the sense that yes, people played it and loved it, but best is also like a shining beacon of the industry, and it's very meaningful in certain ways.
Maybe
blah, blah,
they
blah, blah.
just took it as their favorite. Maybe they all just took
I
it as their
believe they
favorite.
all
I think we
did,
should go
yes.
easy here.
I think
Yeah,
most people
and
do
again-
that. They don't sit back and analyze what the question is. They just go,
And again,
What do you think?
well, yeah, I'm
I
not
think
saying
Plus, it really was like where they run up to you and they're like, "What's the best game?" You know, and they had to just say a game too. So.
yeah, and I'm not saying they're
For
again, I'm not
$1.
saying they're wrong. I'm saying if somebody came up to me and asked best, I'm saying how my thought process that I would go through it. I wouldn't just be like, not my favorite doesn't
it's
matter.
okay. They'll run away from you. They don't want the answer. They
So
want speed.
again, I'm not knocking their choices, but I am saying
They're all done.
no.
What are you
I
gonna
don't.
say?
I'm just gonna say what they said. Games that were named: God of War 2018. Now I like God of War 2018.
Oh,
I
see,
didn't like
they
it.
Dated it.
I didn't like it at first. Yeah, because you can't call it God of War anymore.
That's right.
I
one.
I didn't like God of
What
War
about
at
Lord
first.
of Battle?
I didn't like it, but then I eventually started it again years later, playthrough, and I greatly enjoyed it. It was a great game.
Boy,
Is it the best game of all time?
That's not the newest one.
Nope.
The second
Ragnarok is the
newest one.
newest one. I don't see any path to saying that is the best game of all time. Because I can't think of one single thing that game does that other games haven't done better. It's an excellent game.
great
but
experience, great story, really well told and fun to play.
I guess the one thing you could say is it's a major evolution for the God of War franchise. But outside of that,
the way my brain works, because it's thick up here.
hi, William George.
Like, but maybe that's like one of the last 5 games that person played, and that's just like what's fresh in
Recency
their
bias
mind.
is but it's not though, because they played Ragnarok. So I guess they think Ragnarok
they
is
say that
worse than 20.
afterwards?
They played Ragnarok.
But then they could just think that Ragnarok is like
The worst game.
It's a sequel. It's rehashing a lot of things. This is the one that I like more.
That's right. They
But-
could be saying that, yes. But really, and the thing that really bothers me is these are all like people working in the games industry. Like they're coming in contact with a lot of games. They hear about a lot of games. They play a lot of games, and having God of War. And this isn't like it should be a Nintendo game. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying God of War 2018 as the best game of all time. I don't see it at all. I don't see any way how anybody could argue that, but I'd be willing to listen. Maybe I'm not, like Deux said, great story. The story was probably, for me, the story was the best part. I really liked the story. Gameplay, there's no innovation in gameplay. It's different from God of Wars before it, certainly, but it's, I don't know. It's a very good game. It's a very good game. I don't see it as the best game of all time.
Maybe they just played it, and it hit them special during a period of
Yes.
time in
It's
their
the
life
game.
or something. I
But
don't know.
that's where the argument falls apart. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, why is that the best game of all time?" and they were like, "Because I played it at a special time in my life." That's not the best game. then.
Well,
That's
what,
the best game for you?
If we did that here and I gave you 5 seconds to answer that question, what's your answer?
Best game of am I basing it on like my idea of best?
You have 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
done.
exactly
Moving
what
on.
these people
We're
were
gone.
thinking when they were being
And it's
filmed
over.
by somebody running at them in their office with a camera. So
Billy
like
in the
say
street.
I just came up
Is
to
it
you and
Billy or
said that.
Bobby?
Bobby
Billy.
on the street. What if Bobby came up to you?
Bobby in the hall.
Bobby in the hall. Here it goes. For a penny. I would go right off the top of my head the original Super Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, or Myst. That's 3 that right off the top of my head I would say.
There you go.
Like they're all hugely important. Like there's no denying their
Have you played
importance
all
to the
3?
game. Yeah. They're all hugely important. Pac-Man's fun. I'm not like, oh boy, Pac-Man, I can't wait to play more of the original Pac-Man. But its place in the industry and its importance to the industry is undeniable. Same for Super Mario Brothers. Same for Myst. Myst was like a huge thing for computer games back in the day. Like that's a major thing. You could throw, this is after my 5 seconds, but you could throw Wolfenstein in there because that's, the birth of a genre really. Like, so again, and I like all of those games, but they're not my favorite games of all time, but they're meaningful. They are important to the industry. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker was another one that was said. I like Peace Walker a lot. I wouldn't even call it the best Metal Gear, but I like Peace Walker.
Is that one on a? Isn't that a handheld system?
Yeah, that was, I believe, PSP. And again, I'm not saying these people are wrong. I just found their answers to be very interesting because I don't. What I'm saying is, I don't think people are having a wide enough scope with these answers, but you guys make an excellent point of man on the microphone running up to you being like, "Ugh," and
Yeah.
you just
And that's
Name
what-
a woman.
Hard out one.
Huh?
But to be fair, if somebody ran up to you at your place of work and asked you a question about your work, you'd probably have some
Still,
kind of
no,
reference.
Like I still struggle if you have a rapid run of questions here. Like I can't just.
We'd also have to watch the video again because I don't know if there's cuts in between the question and the answer. There could be
I
a
mean,
cut,
I
and
feel
then
like
they
there
say the answer.
probably is
I don't know.
something, but-
I don't know. Elden Ring. Now, see, Elden Ring, I can see an argument for because it's like the next evolution of that kind of game, the Souls games. Like it became an open world thing. Like I personally don't feel that way, but I get it. I get the argument there. Bloodborne, I don't get the argument there at all. Bloodborne is, a more action heavy Souls like. So I don't know. Halo 3.
Not even the best Halo.
Halo ODST, I would say.
I love ODST, but
I don't know. Again, I'm not knocking these people for picking these. Just when you say best game and you look at it in the
Minecraft?
grand scope of it, Minecraft is an excellent one. Minecraft,
because it brings in so much.
yes, Minecraft. We've never really seen anything like Minecraft before. Undeniable hit, undeniable reach, still alive
Right.
over a decade later.
they
Yeah,
haven't
like,
had to make a sequel called Minecraft.
yeah, exactly. Like Grand Theft Auto 3. There's a great example. Like
Yeah, that
that's a
On our list,
major thing
like
in the game
always.
industry.
Yeah.
Well, 5 is right. Is the new like the one that's still selling, but like Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, but
was
3 's the
first
one
of
that- yeah,
style.
Yeah, 3 was the
what
transition
was,
from
like,
top
Vice City
down to
after?
fully 3D. Yeah,
Then Vice City.
3 Vice City and San
San
Andreas.
Andreas.
Chinatown Wars was in there on the DS, and I don't remember what else.
But yeah, that's
Super
I mean, that was
Mario.
the first time that you could beat up like right, like sleep with a prostitute and then beat her up and take your money back. Right?
Very important.
That's right.
what we're looking for.
that's right.
Super
Or
Mario.
just drop in
I
and
used
beat
to-
up random people on the street.
So I used to pull the car up with a prostitute, like right by a cliff, with like the passenger side door over the cliff, and then she'd do what she has to do. And then when she goes to leave the car, she would get out and fall down the cliff. Problem is, you don't get your money back that way. But you could say that you paid for a dinner and a show.
There you go. That's beautiful. Super Mario Brothers 3 was named. Super Mario Brothers 3 is an excellent game. A lot of people still herald it as the best 2D Mario. It's certainly an evolution of the Mario franchise, yes. But if I'm going to a Mario game, I'd go 64
Radical
or the
Defect brings
original.
up Cave Story.
But again, then,
See, Cave Story is
then you're
I'll get
talking
into that.
about like personal experiences again too, and like the fondest memory of playing Super Mario 3 and like the build up to that, and then the experience of playing it like becomes
yeah.
a huge thing.
And I'm removing personal experience from the equation. Amplitude is said, but I think the guy was joking. But Amplitude's a great game. Super Mario RPG. Now that's one people,
Now, that's the only one just for me.
that's like that was a huge deal back in the day because Nintendo and Square teamed up to make a Mario related RPG. It's the first of its kind like that. So I get it. Like that was a collaboration nobody saw coming, nobody expected. Mario in a completely new type of game. It wasn't a platformer or a racing game. Like I get it. Ocarina of Time, obviously, that's always got to be in the conversation. Evolution of Zelda, evolution of 3D games at the time. Like, yeah, that's undeniable. Always got to be in the conversation. And that's it. There you go. So again, not knocking these people. I just heard their answers and I was a little like taken aback, but perhaps, as you guys rightfully said, it's more about being hit out of nowhere and people were just taking it as their favorite game or whatever.
I'm sure it's mostly that. And keep in mind, I don't want to big you up too much, but like you're like one of the biggest gaming fans in the world. Like, I mean, I'm probably, obviously I don't know everyone in the world, but like, you do this for a reason. I'm not gonna keep going on about that, but like I'm willing to bet that everybody over there, like, while they probably love video games, they might not be lifelong fans. They might just want a job. Not everyone does it with the passion that you do it too. So that could be
And
another.
they don't have to. First off, thank you. They don't have to, obviously. Yeah. And again, this isn't me. Like, I'm not saying they should be taking it more seriously. It's just, when I hear this question, I'm like,
Yeah, but
all
so
right.
recently for me, we were in the middle of working, and like while we're all working, somebody asked over our like walkies, what's your favorite, went through everything. What's your favorite movies, your favorite action movie, romantic comedy, horror movie? And I can't tell you how many times like I had an answer and then somebody said something and I was like, man, like,
Mhm.
yeah, of course that would be like
Did anyone have one answer for all of the questions? Like
The same answer?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think I tried to say something like that, but it just becomes a joke. But and I don't remember what it would have even been. But
Well, to be fair,
somebody said
and
like,
not to be
Terminator
mean,
2, and I was like, for romantic
might I
comedy, right?
add-
I don't mean this in a mean way. You do have trouble making decisions, so I know on top
But I'm
of
not
that.
the only one. Like people would say something and somebody would be like, wow, I haven't thought of that movie
Yeah.
in like
Sort of like when you go out to
15 years.
eat and like you get something and then you look at what somebody else got and you're like, ooh, but that looks really good. I should have gotten that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like there's like the quantity is
Yes.
so vast
Yes.
that to just pick one that stands out amongst others, and then like
Yes.
somebody says something else and you're like, holy smokes, like that definitely again, it holds merit for some reasons.
Yeah,
And-
like for this question, I could give you a whole list of games that I would put in there, but I don't know that I could give you one. Like that's a tall order. I could rattle off names certainly, but and Cave Story, yes. Like Cave Story was the indie game poster child. Like that's the indie game that broke out. That's the indie game that got people to really, it got the larger general public to pay attention to indie games. So yeah, Cave Story definitely worth a mention in there. So I agree. And then the only other thing, because I said we'd talk about it, Mom Brain and I, God bless Mom Brain's pure heart.
I mean,
We went to go-
Can we not God bless? Can we just bless?
Bless Mom Brain's godly heart.
Nope.
We went
definitely not.
We went to see the Marvels yesterday, and before it, one of the trailers was for Wish, the 100th Disney anniversary celebration of their animated features. Brand new movie made by the people who did Frozen.
Is it the 100th year or 100th
Year.
movie?
Year.
the
yeah, yeah.
100th year that they've been
Which is a little confusing because Walt Disney World just celebrated its 50th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So like I guess the park itself. So
I got
they're
you.
just
Disney World.
yes. So they're just like
That's
milking all
interesting.
these like
So-
anniversaries.
So on the 50th anniversary, they open the parks. I guess that's kind of cool. Good idea.
Right.
Yeah, my
it
mom
seems to have
has
worked out.
so much 50th anniversary stuff, and I have a bunch because she has bought all of it and still wants to buy more, so she buys and sends it to me. It's crazy.
From back then, or stuff that's coming out now for
Like
this
for the
The
50th.
celebration is like things were
the
marked.
50th of the park.
They like
you're saying.
decorated
Yeah.
Cinderella's
Although, I
Castle
will say,
special and like
Last year I had a dessert that was so good.
was it an
like,
ice cream sundae?
Was it a
No.
50-year-old dessert?
I had an ice cream sundae that was in celebration of the 50th, and it was divine.
This was like a raspberry chocolate mousse.
Did it have
thing
mouse turds in
that
it?
had a little 50th anniversary chocolate on there, and I almost missed my shuttle to get to the airport because I had to go back for another one right before I left.
I hear you.
Oh wow!
Sorry.
They
one
probably still
second.
make them, just they don't put the 50th
You went-
anniversary chocolate on.
You went to the park just to get a dessert on a separate day, like
at
what?
the hotel.
Okay.
The hotel like food court had them, and yeah.
Was it as good the second time around, or
It's so
yeah.
amazing.
I could just see you like sitting,
eating it while I'm walking, going,
rushing to the airport,
"Oh."
like, what have I done?
I see people in the chat talking about the Marvels. I would love to talk about it, but I know I would go way too long. I very much want to talk about it. We'll talk about it in the after show, but no spoilers, I promise. But anyway, we went to see the Marvels, and Mom Brain, bless her heart, her God hating heart, she saw a trailer for Wish, which she's never seen before. You didn't even know anything about the movie, right?
No,
So you saw the trailer and you said,
I said it looked very sweet, and there were 2 or 3 main reasons why. One, there was something about it that, like most of the trailers I see for like Disney and Pixar movies, I feel like are often like feel more like a cash grab, and something about this felt like magical,
Authentic.
like it used to feel. Like you'd see it and be like, wow, like I don't know, something about it seemed very magical. 2, there's a talking goat that's really cute. And 3, there was an enormous fat hen who lays an enormous fat egg, and it was great. So those are my reasons why I thought it was great, and I hope that that doesn't make me a bad person.
And is it animation like
Yeah.
like real animation kind of thing?
But it
or are they
looks
doing
different.
CGI stuff
It's
still?
so-
Or?
it's a mix, because for I believe the first time in honor of Disney's past and their present, the characters are CG, but with more of a hand-drawn style. They're still very CG, but the backgrounds are traditional drawn backgrounds. Now they may be drawn on a computer, but they're 2D,
Yeah.
traditionally drawn images. So
I guess it would just be stupid to do animation the old way, right? As far as financially, it's just not
it's too
worth it
expensive,
anymore.
and it takes too long.
It's a dang shame.
And it's kind of, at least for Disney, it's kind of a lost art form. But it takes too long, and honestly,
Well,
the real reason is, or one of the big reasons is, audiences don't want to see that. We don't like that. Like, it's scientifically proven that audiences will go see a CG animated film over traditionally hand drawn more. That's it. It's like business suicide to do a 2D mass
3D,
market
2D,
film
2D,
nowadays.
3D, 2D.
But anyway, so she saw the trailer. I didn't say anything. She saw the trailer. She said it looked good. And I said to her, bless your sweetheart, because she has no idea about the vitriol that's going on online. Not everybody.
I don't think
There's
I
a
heard.
major
Are the Smurfs in
major
it?
backlash about this movie, with people saying it looks like garbage. I hate the songs. This movie looks terrible. The visuals are terrible. This is disgusting. It's like, this isn't what we want, Disney.
Because it's half hand drawn, like you just said, and people can't handle
It looks
I thought
unfinished.
it looked so nice.
Everybody, so I've been watching Wish because I'm always interested in what Disney does animated wise. And I liked Frozen 1 and 2 a lot, and I know the same people were working on this.
My mom adores Coco.
So
Like,
the
her
backlash
favorite.
has
That
been
is Pixar though, right? So like
Yes.
it's a little.
the backlash has been very loud and very big. Like, Disney's going to be in a lot of trouble with this movie when it comes out, because yes, it will make money, but I don't think it's going to be as big as they want it to be, especially for 100th
For
anniversary
such
celebration.
a big deal, yeah.
And I'm just shocked because, again, I am a huge fan of animation in general. Any kind of animation. I prefer hand drawn, but that will never I'll never turn my nose up to a CG thing. It's just I have a stylistic taste, but I wouldn't review a movie worse or better because of that. So I saw the original trailer. I saw this trailer. I was like, it was good enough to the point that it was like, I would go see that. I think I would see
Oh,
that in
bless
the
your
theater.
heart.
Something about it just looked really nice to me.
It looked it came across as a Disney type of animated
Yeah.
feature that we don't see anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's
like
what it made me feel.
the style is,
But
it's
people
so
are
like the first time that they're taking a different approach to like their animation style. Excuse
people
me for
are
saying that if that upsets anyone, but like
very angry in particular about the song that the villain sings. There's been a little snippet of the song played by Chris Pine, I believe, because they're like, this is garbage. This is Lin-Manuel Miranda style music. We don't want that. Well, like, where's our Disney villain songs? And I show like, Poor Unfortunate Souls, or
Which, by the way,
Be Prepared,
is,
or which
I
are
mean,
great
yeah,
villain songs.
Ursula is my favorite
But
villain. One of my favorites.
it's not like we haven't had Disney movies where there are villain songs where like the song's approach is like happy-go-lucky, but with a bit of an evil undertone, and then later on they're more revealed to be an asshole, and then they get a big musical number. That could be the case with Wish.
Is that what it takes to get a big musical
It
number?
might not be.
Or
I don't
it
know.
could be the case that who we think is the villain is not the villain.
But
I've seen that.
I thought it looked
You
really good, and I was
wish.
like, this. I thought honestly
Really,
when
Disney's out here showing everybody on the internet that they're the villain.
when you said it to me, I was like, this is why I'm with you, because I'm like, you saw this and you were like, oh, it looks nice. And I was like, man, you couldn't be any further away from the usual voices on the internet. But yes, I don't understand it. Also, there's people who are saying the song that the villain sings is written by AI, just because, if somebody doesn't like something anymore, that's what they say. And they point out
I
to
guess
this.
that's better than attacking an actual human being.
No, because it's like saying the people that are writing it
Oh,
are
that's
robots.
true.
So, and there's two lines in particular that they say. Chris Pine sings, "I let you live here for free, and I don't even charge you rent." And people are like, "That's the same thing. Why why would you say the same thing twice?" And I'm like, I don't understand how people can't get that's the joke. He's a villain. He's trying to make himself sound good. I let you live here for free and I don't even charge you rent. That's the point of the joke, is him saying, I let you live here for free and I don't even charge you rent.
We're too far gone as a
Yes.
society.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
absolutely.
Like, with everything else that's happening in the world, I know I'm the same way. I get heated about things that I love too, but like, we're talking games, we're talking cartoons, I mean, I'm dumbing it down, but like, really,
I
this is where we are now, where this is.
I think we were always here, but we didn't have the internet to show us like that. We were always
I'm
here.
sure
100% we were always here. Because think about like playground battles when we were kids. Like all that same stuff was happening. It was like the internet, but in real life. But now,
but we
plenty
were
of those people,
kids. These are like
well, that's what I'm saying. Plenty
most
of those
likely are adults.
That's what I'm saying. Plenty of those people don't grow up.
Listen, not everybody.
That's what happens.
I don't know who's writing these songs. That line, I will agree, sounds a little lazy. I don't think it's a tongue-in-cheek thing. I just think it's a.
You don't see the. You don't.
I haven't
like,
seen the movie.
No, I know, but you don't see how that's. It's totally done on purpose.
I haven't seen the trailer that you're talking about.
Maybe, but it sounds lazy.
All right. Well, then Nicky Hill's on the other side of things.
Oh, I'm not like panning the whole film or anything, but like that. Yeah, great example, everyone. I appreciate that example.
But all right, so you're saying at all you don't get the joke, or I don't even want to call it a joke.
If
but
that's a theme throughout the song where he's repeating things and trying to make himself look like a good guy or something, maybe those two lines out of context sounds like lazy writing.
See, when you first said it, I was like, I didn't think anything of it, but then you were like, he's the bad guy and it's supposed to be a joke. And because when you just said it, I didn't understand the joke, but now
but again,
that I understand what the
let you
context
live
is.
Here for free and I don't even charge you rent. We
think
know
that's-
he's saying it because he's supposed to be like, I'm such a great guy. You live here for free and I don't even charge you, like that
in a villain song.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think that's totally fine.
That's the whole point, because you're like, what do you mean? That's what being free is. Yeah, that's not like, what are the odds here? And AI wrote it. Disney gave the song no passes, or this is written intentionally to be a joke, because the guy's supposed to be like, the guy in the movie, from what I've seen in the trailers, is very full of himself. He thinks he's a great guy, and he thinks he's doing a job that nobody else can do. Sorry. And he's like, the town needs him more than they need anybody else. So he's got a very self-inflated sense of importance.
Sound familiar?
So yeah, when I think it fits in perfectly, and I'm surprised people don't see the joke, but I'm not saying you should see it.
I mean, you shouldn't be surprised that I don't see the joke. I'm dumb as a stump.
Yeah, I mean, the whole song is about him being a great guy, but really singing about how bad he is, and he's just looking for respect from people. He's like, you guys treat me like garbage, and here I am being a great guy, where really all he's doing is stomping people down, lifting himself up, and pretending like he's the best. So, yes, you should. I would play the song now, but I can't because we'll get claimed. So, yes, you could listen to it later if you want. But anyway, yes, I think the movie looks nice. I would like to see it. I had intended on seeing it because I like Frozen and Frozen 2. I don't know if I was going to go to the theater, but I'll go to the theater. So there you go. That's all we got. I wanted to ask you really quick, Lee.
No.
Did you watch the first episode of Nathan Fielder's show? I haven't watched it yet.
I don't have access to it.
Okay. I didn't watch it yet either. I watched a lot of stuff this week, but I didn't have time to cram that in. But I'm very excited to watch.
Are we talking about the Marvels at all?
Did you listen to me?
I know you don't want spoilers.
I said I'll talk about it forever, but that's why I'm going to wait until the after show just so
Okay.
I can do it then. No spoilers when we do talk about it. Yes, I would love to talk about it in general, but we're already at 50 minutes. I don't want to make people wait longer.
Well,
I could dedicate a whole show.
There's
to
been
it.
talk in the about the Zelda movie as well. They're talking about movies and not Zelda.
Oh,
and
we're
then
going to
there's
get to
also
well, let's parlay right into
Attack
that.
on Titan questions. as
I'll
well
talk
in
about
there.
that. Hit me in the after show for all that, but we will do Zelda right now. Mom Brain, I'm sorry to take you away from Suika game, but could you hit me with the news jingle?
Maybe.
And we'll go right into Zelda. It's the perfect segue. You're right.
Finally.
So, yes.
Finally.
A lot of stories related to Do this week. I was out on my walk. I was unable to cover things on the site. And as I was away, of course, because my timing sucks, Nintendo's like, oh, by the way, we're making a Zelda movie. And
Just
the
a
dude
little
texted me and he's like,
tidbit
is
of
this
news.
true? And I was like, it's true. And then dude was like, I can't find anything on your site. And I was like, it's not on the site. It came out like right when I was the furthest point away on my walk. It couldn't have been timed any more
That's really
perfectly worse.
funny.
It's
You
like,
should have gotten in touch with me. I would have taken it over. Remember that time I tried?
I do, yes.
It would
I
be
do.
great if you can just knock on some stranger's door and be like, I need to use your computer right away.
Well, I was
I'm
trying
gonna have to commandeer your vehicle.
I was trying to do it on my phone, and I can, but with autocorrect and formatting on my phone, I typed out like a paragraph and a half, and it took me literally 15 minutes to do it. And I'm like, it's not going to work. But anyway, yes, Nintendo announced that they're doing a Legend of Zelda movie, and it is not animated.
It's not gonna happen.
It is live action. Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto says he's been working on this movie for a long time. We found out later in the week, not production of the movie, but coming up with the idea of the movie and getting the pieces to fall into place. Miyamoto's been working on it for 10 years now. So now we're at the point where it's officially cemented. It is happening. They got their team. It's going ahead.
Crazy that they're the studio they're going with.
The film will be directed by Wes Ball, who's known for the Maze Runner movies. Anybody?
I saw the first one.
Good?
It wasn't bad.
There you go.
It wasn't bad.
Not good enough to see the second.
And he's the
wasn't
same
interested in
guy.
the
Here's the
second.
thing. Here's the thing. I feel like they're gonna have so much control. It doesn't matter who directs it, right? Like there's gonna be so
Probably.
many other.
You're probably
Well,
true.
Nintendo does the
I mean,
thing
that's
that
not-
they
that's rude
always
to
do,
say,
which is
but-
like, yes, they'll have a lot of control, but they also respect what those people in other industries do. So a director will have choices over a whole bunch of stuff because Nintendo's like, that's what you do. It's like what they did with the theme parks. They said flat out this week, because an investor was like, how come you guys just didn't make your own theme park? And they were like, well, we have our areas of expertise and theme parks is not one of them. So we went with a partner that has does that for a living. So also Wes Ball is also doing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So
Oh,
we'll have
okay.
to see that and see if it's any good. And Mouse Guard. I don't know what
pretty busy.
Mouse Guard is. Here's all right. So the first bombshell was Legend of Zelda movie. Second bombshell, movie will be co-financed by Nintendo and Sony Pictures Entertainment. So yes, Sony has many divisions. They're not all related to video games, obviously, but it is still interesting that Sony Pictures Entertainment is teaming with Nintendo to make a Legend of Zelda movie.
That is
So-
kind of interesting in a couple of different ways, just because I guess film wise, they're hit and miss with movies of this kind of caliber,
Yeah.
like they're mixed. I don't want to say that recently it seems like they've all mostly been on the bad side, but there have been some good ones throughout, and the producers involved have been involved with that, if I know correctly.
Yeah.
But like you said, why would, just because I know it's not the PlayStation guys, but why would they even do that after all the crap that Sony talks? Like they should just be like, you know what, we can go with, I don't know, Warner Brothers or
There's plenty of
somebody.
other
I don't know
options.
who.
Yeah, there's plenty of other options.
Trying to think of a big company.
You know what it might
movie
be?
company.
It might honestly be something about the Japanese side of things too. It's like another major Japanese company who will get at least some of the same philosophies that Nintendo wants, so they can see eye to eye on
that's
certain
an
things.
interesting
What
point,
some
yeah.
of Sony's pictures films?
What are
There's-
some of
there's-
Sony's
there's,
pictures?
Uncharted was one of the most recent.
Oh, are you talking about specifically
the
video game
all the
movies? Oh yeah.
Spider-Man movies. No, not
Yeah,
specifically,
yeah.
but these are the ones that come to mind.
Yeah, that Mobius movie, Morbius.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for every Morbius, there's a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or Into the
Right.
Spider-Verse. So,
I
they
don't
just did
know.
No Hard Feelings, which you didn't like, but a friend enjoyed. I haven't seen it. They did Insidious. They did that movie 65 with Adam Driver. I didn't see it. Elysium, The Da Vinci Code. So they got, like you said, exactly like you said, hits and misses.
So
all
that's
up
the
and
thing
down.
that you have to kind of look at, like, in my opinion, like, are they like how do they allocate their budget? Like, where do things go? Like,
Yeah.
like
Once
does
Upon a Time in
like,
Hollywood.
does that 65 movie, like,
Whiplash.
as far as the scope and like the effects and everything, did it really capture the feel of the environment and everything? Because that's maybe the closest you're going to get to some sort of like fantasy element, kind of.
Girl
So,
with
like,
the dragon tattoo. See, like when it comes to Sony Pictures, it's really, yes, they're going to have some say on what happens in the movie, but it's really the people who are putting up money with Nintendo.
also, but
and
the other
that's-
thing to think
that's the
too is that,
extent.
like, Nintendo has deals with Microsoft. Maybe this is their way to reach across the aisle and be like, hey, look, we can work together and help each other benefit.
Well, my understanding is Sony is very, like, a very can't think of the right word. All their
There's, like,
avenues are very split, or very
Segmented?
segmented. Yeah, like their game division is very off from their other divisions and blah blah blah. But yes, I mean it's a grand company or a grand scheme of things. Yes, the companies have ties to one another.
What do you think about going the live action route? I don't want this to be the focus
I
of
think
it all,
I
but
don't
No,
think
we'll
it's a
talk about it.
good
I just feel when I
agree.
first heard the live action part, I kind of like winced a little bit just
Mhm.
thinking about how it could be well done, because like I was already leery about like an animated version, and
Well, you have to think of American audiences and to a lesser extent the audiences in the rest of the world. When you do a cartoon, it's got to be colorful and cutesy, and that's what audiences go see. If it's not, you can't have a. And not that I Legend
but this newest Disney one is colorful and cutesy, and everybody hates it. So you really can't win.
Well, also yes, you can't win, but if you are going animated, if you're going animated for a big budget movie, that's the direction you have to go. Name another big budget animated movie that's not cutesy kitty, at least from a visual perspective.
right, especially from the American side
Yeah.
of things.
There
I
could be
wish
a
they-
cutesy kitty Legend of Zelda movie, but that's not what we want. And we
wish
don't
there
need
was
a
a
dark,
Ghibli-
mysterious Zelda movie either, but you need something
I
a
wish
little bit
they
more.
partnered
the
with
problem-
Studio Ghibli to make a animated Zelda.
Yes.
That would be
The
pretty
problem-
cool.
And then
I think.
audiences in Japan would see it, and nobody else would.
and
so.
you and I would see it.
The
Yeah.
problem for me is again the size of the story, taking what we all
Well, we don't know the
as, like,
story.
what we all know as a large adventure theme and putting that into a 2-hour long movie it's cramming a lot. Whereas if they went series or something like live action series or something, or if they already know out of the gate this is going to be a trilogy or something like that, and they can have some sort of self-contained, but it's going to build onto something bigger, then maybe that'll work better. But I just see, because our experiences and people's expectations in general of like what they think of when they think Legend of Zelda, I just don't know if it's really going to translate to a movie as well.
Well, yeah.
Super Mario, yeah, there's a lot of levels and everything, but usually the story in a Mario game is, oh gosh, here comes Bowser. Oh, gotta go beat him. Like, but when it comes to Zelda, like there's just a lot more depth to of the characters and the environment and the situation.
And with live action RMC, you were saying there's no way, in your opinion, that they would go with like a no-name star for Link. And
No.
personally, I feel like if you gotta go if you got to go live action, then you got to get a no-name talent
I
in there.
agree because you have to
'Cause,
separate.
Like, who am I
Yeah,
who can
yeah.
you actually see in
think
that
so.
role and have it
There's
not be?
no chance. Yeah, they're not gonna do this big movie and put a no name in the lead. They're just not gonna do
It's
it.
going to be
That's-
Timothy Chalamet, isn't
That's
it?
not it, like Tom Holland or Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
keep throwing those two names out there, and not bad actors in their own right, but I just don't want to see anybody.
Even
being
if
Link.
somehow we
like, that I
escape
know,
Link
that I
being a
recognize.
well-known actor, one of the big three, if you imagine Zelda and Ganon are going to be in it, one of them, if not both of them, are going to be big name actors or at least recognizable actors
I
because
hope none of them are like,
this movie's going to be
silly.
expensive.
like I just, God forbid, they're silly.
Here's the
John
truth.
C. Reilly.
Whoever is
Yeah.
announced, no one's going to be happy about it. That's it. Like there's no live action that's going to
That's so good.
That's really good, Hailey and Tom. That's really good. There's no one who's going to be announced for real that's going to make the majority of people happy. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's impossible to do. And you know who else knows that? Sony and
It's not
Nintendo.
gonna
So they're
happen.
going to go with the guy that's going to bring people in at the box office. They don't care. Not that they don't care, but they know the vitriol online is very likely not going to steer people away. And people who say online, I'm not seeing this because whatever. I'm not seeing Mario because Chris Pratt's Mario, not my Mario. 1.4 billion at the box office. Like it's a lot of talk for a lot of no action. So the same thing's going to happen here. Whoever it is going to get announced. Everybody's going to hate on it. They're going to say they're not going to see it, and they're going to go see it. So unless it's some actor who is like a horrible person or something,
And
that's a
whoever-
different story. But
And whoever gets cast as Princess Zelda will be, bullied off of X in,
Yeah.
a weekend.
yeah. So yeah, as far as who we
It's gonna
think
Anya
should be,
Taylor-Joy.
yeah. As far as who should be Link, I don't even know what to tell you. I can't give you an actor where I'm like they do it. I got literally no one. I can't think
And,
of
like,
anything.
I can already picture it. Like it starts off in like a little, forest village, and there's this
Like Zelda.
little kid,
Hi, Pixelrific.
like Link, like just boop, 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 like walking through, talking to people and everything. He's gonna talk. He's gonna talk.
Oh, 100%
Yeah.
he's going to talk. Yes, you are. If you think they're going to make a Zelda movie where the main character doesn't talk, that's not a reality. You're not. There's no.
When it comes to like
That's
an
not how
adventure-
movies work.
like adventure film or story like that, I just get nervous with like it's predictable.
Okay, let's go.
Zikamuto says.
Did you hear me talking to him about that
heard-
before?
I did,
heard-
Okay.
I did, but I heard him. I heard it in his last comment. too.
That could work.
Idris Elba as Ganondorf. Yes, I've seen a lot of people say that.
The Jojo Rabbit kid. That's this kid right here.
As who? Link?
I mean, I don't know how old
Young
he is
Link?
now. I don't know how old he is now. Usually actors.
Yeah,
are
now he's
older
older
than-
now.
They do get
Older
older
than
as
they
time
play.
goes on. It's true. And as we've seen in shows like Reservation Dogs, you can be 30 years old and play a 17-year-old. So yeah, here's the thing we all need to remember. We have way more questions than we have answers now. We don't know anything. All we know is a live action Zelda movie is happening. Sony and Nintendo are teaming up on it. And we know the producer. Like, that's all that we know. Do not look at the history of what the producer's done and be like, this movie's doomed. Don't look at the Sony and be like, this movie's doomed. Because again, if you really look at Sony Pictures, you see they've had major hits and major flops. You know who else had that? Every other company. Like, that's how the movie industry works. The people putting up the money, yes, steer the ship in some regards, but it doesn't, they don't have full say over everything that happens in the movie. Like a Nintendo's certainly not going to let that happen. And also Nintendo is the biggest financer of this movie. So Nintendo, if anybody's going to have more of a sway than anybody else, it will be Nintendo. But yes, Nintendo will default to Sony and the writers and the directors for certain things because Nintendo doesn't make movies. But if you were happy with the Mario movie, I'd say there's a pretty good chance you'll be happy with the Legend of Zelda movie. But yes, live action is a completely different factor as well. So Zelda's very huge in scope and scale. I agree it seems like a lot to put into a movie, but I'm only imagining what I know being adapted into a live action movie. So could they do it and it works? Yes, 100%. It could be the best movie in the world. anything is possible just because it's live action or they're going to cast a big name actor or whatever. None of that really matters because everything could work out great or everything could be garbage. And all we can do is hang back and see what happens. Like I said, the reasons to get angry are they cast an actor that you don't like because you find them to be a horrible person, or they cast a writer or a director that
Small
does the same
pool
thing. Yeah, right.
or a large pool, I guess,
So,
to choose from. In that case.
we'll see what happens. Like, I'm completely open-minded. I love animated feature films. I love animation in general, but I have no problem with live action. I'll take a live action Legend of Zelda. I think the decision makes sense for audiences and audience tastes because unless it's cutesy, they're not going to see an animated thing, at least in the scale and scope that Nintendo and Sony will be wanting them to. I think they've made all the right decisions for a business standpoint, because I know people hate to hear this, but Nintendo's a business and these people don't want to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on what will be a flop. So they go through all kinds of market research and figure all this stuff out. Now, has there been stuff that comes out where people, where businesses read everything wrong and miss the mark? Yes. Could that happen here?
The
Certainly
original
could,
Super
but-
Mario Brothers
Exactly.
movie.
But this time Nintendo is
Which
involved.
was
so.
live action. So
And
Yeah.
Miyamoto's been working on this idea for 10 years. So he's taking it very seriously. I don't know what to tell you. I all I'm saying is keep an open mind. That's all I got. And yes, we're all prepared for the massive backlash when the actors are announced and the first teaser comes out and the full trailer. Like, it's all gonna, when Link talks, everybody's gonna cry. Probably in the teaser trailer, they won't let you see Link talking, and everybody's still gonna be like, "Is he gonna talk?" But he's gonna, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So all I said is the only thing I need for this movie to be good is Batista as a Goron, and then everything else will
As
fall into
Darunia,
place.
the Goron.
The Goron. So yeah, I am not.
Or I guess he could be Big Goron.
That's true. I'll take any Goron. I'll take any Goron. What's the name of the one from Tears of the Kingdom?
Great question. I played that one recently. How am
Yeah,
I going to remember
I
that?
can't
I only
remember.
remember stuff I played 20 years ago.
So we'll see what happens. I'm not looking forward to covering this as time. Thank you. I'm not looking forward to.
Tendivision.
Oh, thank you, Tendivision. Covering this as the time goes on. Likely years. It will likely be years until we see this, but it's just going to be lots of anger and lots of
Maybe.
I feel like it's going to be a
vitriol.
lot of they're going to be non-American talent, right? Probably British or European or something. Like, I feel like that's where they're going to get their talent from.
I mean,
doing an American accent or keeping
No,
their British
doubtful.
accent.
No, this is Hyrule. They're going to have some sort of.
they're gonna. If
British
they are, they're
accent.
going to be well-known people. Or are you talking about like the?
Here's the thing. They can maybe get a well-known person for like Ganon or something like that. Like get a well-known person in there, and then for somebody else, maybe they won't do it, but hopefully they'll get a younger talent or like a newer, fresher face, But the thing is if they go with somebody who's bigger in a different market, it might be new to us. They still have like they're really great talent, but we just haven't seen them yet. It happens pretty often, I feel like, for us.
They're making Zelda is the biggest in America. Like, they're aiming for us first and everybody else after that. There's no way they're going to
But
aim it
why?
at Europe.
I mean, if Zelda is the biggest, they don't necessarily have to aim for us. They can please us, but aim to bring in a lot of other market from other places.
Because we're the ones that'll be the most angry about it. That's why. Like, you
well,
don't.
that's going to happen anyway, though. We already see that.
Yes, it
we're
will
going to
happen anyway.
view bomb
but-
this puppy.
But yeah, you don't want to start off by you don't want to start
casting
off on the wrong
Chris
foot.
Pratt as Mario. Like,
Well, yeah, but Chris Pratt and that's my point. People online complain night and day about Chris Pratt. The average general public likes the guy or doesn't care about the guy really. Like, only the vitriol. We're the
The
only
average
dorks who are
general
like
public-
Charles
No.
Martinet should have been Mario. Their average moviegoer is like Chris Pratt. I know that guy. Anya Taylor-Joy. I know her. That's what it is. That's why DreamWorks puts all celebrities in their movies, because
Okay,
the
but, like-
parents are like, okay, I know those people. I'll go see.
so you're talking again about the average general public of people who consume media, not necessarily gamers. So again, whatever. It still goes against my point, but like, they're not necessarily selling it to people who play video games. They're selling it to people who don't play video games.
Mm-hmm.
So they can cast whatever. We're never going to be happy with what they cast. So.
Well, I will be happy until I see the movie, and then I'll decide if I like the
But,
movie or
like,
not. But
I just
Hi,
think,
video games are
Classic RMC.
you know, like I'm thinking
reserving judgment until it comes out.
the thing that comes to mind, maybe you guys have said it because I've been trying to look up different things, is like Lord of the Rings. You know, you're never going to fit the whole trilogy of books or whatever into just one movie, and I feel like a Zelda game is as big as like the whole trilogy. You know, not and like
Well, trust us. They'll be, if this is successful, you'll get many more of them.
but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and again, we don't have any idea like if they're adapting a game to a movie or if they're just loosely taking Legend of Zelda. So if you're just loosely going with it, Zelda, Link, Ganon, and then you do whatever you want with them.
I feel like that's
The guy's
probably
got
the
a
best
sword.
approach. You
That's
can't
what they're
try to
probably gonna do.
I wouldn't want to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
a 2-hour movie where he goes to 6 temples.
Well, here's-
Like that
here's
seems
another
so
thing.
childish.
The way so many other movies and shows are going, jump right into a time travel story, right? Where your Link's going back and forth through time because, like,
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where it's got to go, right? And then they can also really branch out in who's playing who, multiple generations or.
So what you're talking about
multiverse.
is the Zelda cinematic universe.
No, well, I'm just saying, like, sell it as like either time travel or multiverse because it's already what is canon, right? Like the
No, I mean that's what fans say. Like Nintendo, they play fast and loose with the timeline in general. Like they're like, oh, there's one where Link wins and there's one where Link fails, and it's like, where's this one going? They're like, there might be a third one, but probably the other two somewhere. Like Nintendo's like, hey, let's make a good game first, and then let the dorks figure out where it goes. Because Nintendo's like, we got this book
the
of
reality
everything
is,
Zelda, and it all goes in there, and you're like, can I see this book? And they're like, no, we
the
can't.
reality is that it's always a Link and a Zelda and a Ganon in whatever
Not
world you're in.
always a Ganon.
Thanks.
There's a few games in there without Ganon in them. You got what's his name?
Vati.
Vati, yes. Vati was in a few of them. I wish they'd bring Vati back. Hi Rex, good to see you. Yeah, I think they're very loosely going to pull from The Legend of Zelda and take the essence of what makes The Legend of Zelda Zelda. So yes, I would probably say Link, Ganon, Zelda, an important sword, and these three characters being connected.
Would it anger you
Yes.
if it takes place in like
Modern
day and some kid gets pulled through some vortex or something?
Stop speaking it into the universe.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, that's kind of what Mario
If he
gets
gets
too,
pulled,
right?
if he gets pulled into like the old school NES while playing it, I'll
Jumanji.
accept it.
That
never
would
seen
be
that before.
that would be my nightmare, yes, but I wouldn't I'd give the whole movie a shot. But if I'm sit down in the theater and it starts with that, I'm like, because that's one of my pet peeves in movies in general. Like, you don't have to explain that they get sucked into another world. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, just put me in the world. It's fine. I don't need the fish out of water situation.
That's what makes that's what tells that story. I mean, that's what their story
What
is.
was the story in Mario?
They were
Why couldn't he already be a
plumbers.
guy in the Mushroom Kingdom that wasn't a hero? What does being a New Yorker have to do with anything? It doesn't. He doesn't eat mushrooms with his family at dinner. Like, it didn't matter at all. Just like he's a regular guy, just like you. He can be a regular guy and live in a Mushroom Kingdom. He can sit in his mushroom house and not jump on stomping Koopas. But yeah, I don't need to see Mario gets. I'm not like, oh, now this makes sense. He's a regular guy. That went. Who gives a crap? But to be fair, Mario games aren't really story centric, so it doesn't really matter. In Zelda, yes, there's a.
I mean, a lot of the time,
cadence
Mario, I
to the
feel
stories.
like he gets dropped into a different world or like a different environment.
It's true.
Even Wonder, he's dropped into a different environment.
It's
In
true.
Odyssey, he's dropped into mountain. Like,
Yeah, and Wonder, he's like, hey, here's a new kingdom. We're here. Why are we here?
there's a party.
Doesn't
or
matter.
something.
Yeah, it's a party. Their cake, I'm there, baby.
Or
it's not a bad way to look at things.
how did what happened in that other one, Galaxy? Was he already flown through space, or did he have to go there?
He was in the Mushroom Kingdom, and Bowser showed up.
Until he had to go into space. So like he
He had to go
started
into space.
in a different world and had to travel into a different world that we got interested in.
All right, I'll tell Nintendo to make Link a live-action young
That's
boy
what we
in America,
need.
and they'll portal him out. Yeah.
Because we don't have enough stories about young boys in America.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Legend of Zelda, so for basing it off of what it is, it will have a young boy in the lead. The America part, probably not.
Also, it
getting
probably wouldn't work now.
roasted.
What?
Nothing.
He said, "What iconic lines from Zelda must include in the movie?" And somebody said, "Gee, it sure is
Oh,
boring."
I
around
thought.
here."
Oh, I thought we were getting
I thought
roasted.
so. No.
Grumble, grumble is a good
Or
one
the
too.
other thing that probably wouldn't work storytelling wise now, but maybe it could,
Sure is
is,
boring around here.
like sitting down, like bedtime story or
Brown?
whatever. Like so, like Neverending Story or Princess Bride. Like here we are in our world. Let's visit this world of literature. You know what I mean? Like
I want you to stop speaking this into the universe, please, because now I am going to worry
no, but
about that.
those films worked great that way, and I feel like
But they weren't established as other things already. They
maybe
were
somebody
their
just
own
sits
thing.
I think
down,
they were.
sits down to read the Hyrule
Princess
Historia.
Bride
or
was a
whatever.
book first, was it not?
Was in the book? Was it
Right.
someone reading someone a book?
Yeah.
I don't know. A book, huh?
Oh,
I've not read the
That
book,
I don't
so
know.
I don't know.
Okay, well, get back to me then. I don't
think
know either.
Nintendo knows.
probably.
But yeah,
What's up with all these books?
there you go.
Maybe Carrie Elways could be Ganon. Eileen Tom.
Now he's too busy with those terrible Netflix movies we saw. What was that one we saw him in? The Scottish Castle one.
Oh
yeah.
man, what was that?
But yes, there you go. That's our thoughts on the Legend of Zelda movie, and that's all we know really.
That's it, that's all.
Autumnal Blake says, "I hope Link is still hot." That's the number one important thing, of
Amen.
course.
Amen.
You know who else said that? Not a lie. My mother. I said, "Mom, you excited for a movie?" She said, "Link better be hot." Not a lie. Not a lie. So,
Strange.
well, I guess that's what matters most to her when she's playing a Legend of Zelda game.
Link.
That's why she doesn't like Wind Waker, because it's cartoon style.
Oh,
She can't get down with Link
she's
looking
not
like
in
that.
hentai.
Not a hentai fan. My mom is not a hentai
That's
fan.
not where you got the jeans.
She's not
Nope,
the
nope.
hentai correspondent we were hoping she could be.
We don't need to do this because I already said Miyamoto bit. So, all right, let's go back down to, yes, Nicky Hill. You took a breath like you were going to say something.
Just had to break.
Okay.
Just have to breathe.
Just
to stay
had to
alive.
breathe.
Hold your breathing till you have an opinion, please.
In the interest of time, I'm going to skip some of the top stories. So I'm
What
going to skip
time
one, and
do
we're
you
going to
think
go
we
to this
have?
one about Koji Kondo, the man who's made music for multiple Nintendo games, including most recently Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Ooh.
In an interview, he was recently asked, how did you come up with the classic Super Mario Brothers theme? Now, he's talked a little bit about this before, but now we get more insight than we've gotten in the past. He
He
says,
said alcohol and lots of it.
quote, "The blue sky and green plains left the strongest impression, so I composed a track that felt like a gentle, relaxing stroll under the sun. But then I saw Mario run and jump around, so the rhythm of that song didn't really match. The first track was scrapped, and the next one I composed was the one we have now. There's a certain rhythm that perfectly matches the physical feeling of running and jumping, so I tried to capture that and turn it into a melody. I didn't make it with any genre in mind. A lot of people said it sounds like Latin or like jazz, but I said, no, it's game music, not fitting into any genre, created to match a game. So most importantly here, have we ever heard the original tune that he made that was scrapped? Did he repurpose it in a Mario game?
He
somewhere?
has to have.
You would think so,
I
right?
honestly cannot think of what the Super Mario theme is right now.
Don't nobody say anything. We're gonna sit here as long as it takes
No,
because
I
you
can't.
definitely know it.
I I honestly can't think of it. Like my brain does this.
You are a liar.
No, I really can't. Why would I lie about that?
Fire up the game in your brain.
Why is it lie?
Fire up the game
All
in
I
your
can
brain.
think of is I think it's Super Mario 3. Like
Ar-
Overworld.
All right, give me that. That's true.
It's a classic.
That's all I
That's a
can get out of my
classic.
brain right now. That's all I can get. Let's move on, please.
Now click
Let's
on a
move
level
on. This is a
and do
Nintendo
the-
podcast. These are the moments we live for.
And you hate dead air, so I'll sit here and give you dead air.
Dead air. Can you give me the underground theme from the first game?
Now that he's singing that, that's all I can think of.
Sorry.
Like, my brain, I can't break things off.
Think of it this way. Picture him coming out of the castle and going down the pipe. Think of the pipe sound and then what it
And then your
leads
next noise is, yep.
And this is I can't
Stop the music. He's got a million excuses. We will sit in silence.
Also, I know George didn't even sing "Happy Birthday" before.
Stop.
Because
Stop.
it's the same thing.
You're thinking underground. That's all we're thinking about right now. He's got nothing.
I do. And believe it or not, I had it for a second and then I lost it because the drum roll threw me off. My
All
brain
right.
doesn't function.
Now we're almost there. Just go one level back to the song they've used in a million games. Mario's running out. The Goomba's there. The set of 5 blocks. The set of 3, and
I can see it.
I can't. I'm gonna start crying because I really can't. So let's move on, please.
all right, we'll move on.
It's horrible, but I can't.
What if I gave you the first note?
No, I don't want to do this anymore.
Do you want the
It's
second
me
note?
asking to not do it.
All right, I'll.
Are we really not going to give it to him? We can't.
You can go ahead, give it to him.
I'm not going to do it.
I am the world's best
No
singer.
one's gonna sing this. I'll sing it.
Oh, well, we
No,
want
let
you.
Nicky-
You're the one
let
who.
He
Nicky
doesn't
sing
want
Pitch
to.
it.
Perfect.
He doesn't want. He said he doesn't want to.
I mean, I'm just saying he doesn't have to think of it right now. Just
Would you like to hear the song now, or would you like to have the rest of the show to think?
You can sing it, but I'm not gonna sing along.
I'm not asking.
How about
you to.
this? You sing it for him now, and then at the end of the show, we'll ask him to sing it.
like
He
he
doesn't
does.
want any-
Rami does that to me all the time.
He doesn't want any pressure. I'm asking what you would
should be
actually
used to
like
that
to
as a
take the
teacher,
pressure
right?
off.
Isn't that a
Sing it.
teacher tactic?
Ba-da-bop, ba-da-bop.
That's the one. Yeah.
Now
Very
you
happy
go.
for you. Do.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Got it. So yeah, the question I have is, have we ever heard this unused tune?
Crazy
I
Colonel,
wish
you can draw a picture of me bawling under so much Mario stress.
I wish
on a podcast of Nintendo.
yeah, right. Sing the Mario Brothers song. Nope, can't do it. I wish NHK followed that up by asking him, have you ever used that tune? Have you ever used the one that was scratched? But they didn't. So I also just like how he's like, it's no genre. Latin? No. Jazz? No, it's not. It's game music. The end. That's all
Well,
there is.
that's brilliant. I never once thought to think of what genre could be. For me, it's always been video game music. Like,
Yeah.
but now that somebody has thrown out those examples, I was like, I guess it has those kind of influences a little, but it's still.
It is tougher with the first game. When you get into later games, even the second game, I can more easily pick out genres. But the first game, it's true. Like the underground,
Yeah.
there's not like in Wonder, it's certain they put a new twist on it. It's got like a style to it without a doubt. But like you're not like, oh, that's dance music. I'm just trying to think of a genre. Like so I kind of get what he's saying. We've heard other iterations of the Super Mario Brothers theme that have had styles to them of jazz or things like that, certainly. But when you just think of the original, it's tough. I don't know. The only one I could like the Castle songs have like a spooky vibe to them. I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to call that a genre, but it's certainly spooky or some sort of fear-inducing or.
Yeah.
But the original song, I don't know. I don't know what I'd say. Jumpman FR says, now I want to hear that song that got cut. Yep. And you, my friend.
What
Maybe
about
we
that
have.
song? I think it's from the third one. It's like an overworld song. It's like boom, bleep, boom, beep, boom, bleep, boom, beep, boom, bleep.
Boss battle song?
It's like it's like the Waterworld overworld song.
Oh.
Is it Waterworld? Maybe.
It's yes, I can hear the background of it perfectly.
Bleep, boom, bleep, boom, bleep. It's got like some weird kind of thing like that going on with it.
Yes, and
I'm-
but the
I'm
background
not-
of it is just so the
Which
Zelda
game?
Mario
Is that
song.
not Zelda?
There,
was-
it's
oh,
in both.
wow.
Yes.
Which game is this?
3.
Really?
Yeah.
It's okay. So you know what I'm talking about.
oh,
So
yeah.
It wasn't the worst impression ever. It wasn't a great one. How about the underground song of Wonder? Do you have that off the top of your head, RMC? It's like real BA.
Bow, bow, ba 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 bow, 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 ba ba bow, 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 bow,
Ooh.
bow, bow, bow. And then you go to the classics. I
then
love.
it goes. Yeah,
That's
it's
probably my favorite song in the game.
See,
So
that's the
good.
music section, fellas.
Have you finished that game yet?
Why can't I
Not
see
yet.
that?
Okay, then no more. Oh, the poor cat. Yes. So maybe it was used, maybe it wasn't. If I ever get the honor of interviewing Mr. Kondo, am not joking. I would ask that question. They let me talk to Miyamoto once and never again. So who knows? But
Do you think? Yeah, there. Never mind. I was going to ask a stupid question that I
Ask
know
it,
isn't
baby.
true. I was going to say, do you think they'll ask him to score the film? But I doubt they would do that.
he'll be involved with
You
his
think?
music. Will be involved definitely.
Maybe like a supervisor.
Well,
yeah,
music
because he was
supervisor?
involved with the Super Mario movie.
And I mean, the Super Mario.
Oh,
was
He
okay.
oversaw
full of-
orchestrations
Okay,
and
cool.
everything. So
Well,
yeah,
then he
100%.
should be
Oh
involved.
yeah,
then.
they're
Great.
not gonna. That movie will have classic Zelda music in it, but not in like the training montages. That'll be like Katy Perry song or something like that.
Right, of
I hope
course.
there's not a
You're
training
joking, but you're
montage.
exactly right. You know, there's going to be something like that.
I can see that for a Mario animated movie. I still don't like it, but I can see it for a live action Zelda movie. I
We
don't
need a
see it.
hero. Obviously, that's a Link song.
Yeah.
A hero till the end of time, or
Oh
for
my
throughout time, the
God.
Ocarina of Time.
It's perfect. Get us to do the movie. Moving on. Fortnite has seen its biggest day in its entire history. So what, 6+ years?
B-Day.
Going on right now, if you don't know, in Fortnite is the OG season, which means they brought back the original
God.
map. And each week this month, they are adding in more old school content that used to be in Fortnite. And traditional or current Fortnite players are checking it out. But the old school players, the ones who played years ago and lapsed, they came back in droves. And the combination of both player types being around, and I'm sure some first timers, has led to their biggest day in the game's history. 44.7 million unique players went online last Saturday to play a
Unique
game
New
of
York.
Fortnite. Those players ratcheted up 102 million hours of playtime in just Saturday. So a brand new record. They also hit a new record for concurrent players, which I think I said last week which was like 6.2 or 6.1. So at one time last weekend on Fortnite, 6.1 million people were in the game playing at the same time. But throughout Saturday specifically, 44 million unique accounts logged into Fortnite to play a game. So pretty crazy. The game's been around this long and it's had its
Epic.
biggest day ever.
What are the chances that that's 1 million people who went in and created 44 different accounts?
None.
Okay.
None. Definitely none. So yeah, Fortnite launched in 2017. So there you go. Pretty impressive to go this long, still be extremely popular. I believe it is still the most popular battle royale.
But not one of the best, most important, like the best games ever.
See, that's tough because it would either be Fortnite or it would be
Unreal Tournament.
no, the other battle royale game. The one. Why can't I think of
Pog.
it?
Smash Brothers.
PUBG.
PUBG is what I'm trying to think of.
PUBG.
Yeah. Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, because
When was that?
Fortnite
Was that
only
before-
exists. It's still now. People still play now. It was before Fortnite. Yes.
What about Serious Sam?
It's not a battle royale. Just the first
Apex
person.
Legends.
That came after. But
That game where you pick up like magic wands and stuff.
oh, that's over. That poor company
Oh yeah.
shuttered their game. Yeah.
They tried and they failed.
So yeah, PUBG was the like battle royale that really started things, but Fortnite is the battle royale that really ran with the idea.
But who
So
did it better? though?
Tentavision
Like-
here. Tentavision sums it up perfectly for you. PUBG is the Hydrox to Fortnite's Oreos.
there you go.
So
there
you
you
know
go.
exactly
That's the perfect
who's
analogy. Perfect
Hydrox was
analogy. Hydrox was first. Yeah, we learned that not too long ago, actually. So yes, that's a great analogy. Yes, PUBG walked so that Fortnite could run. But yeah, if you argued either one of them were the best game, I could see either. So there you go. The Shape says so many people were online they almost didn't need bots. Oh no, there's always bots.
I don't understand. We play against bots?
You've been playing against bots in Fortnite since day one. Yeah, there's always bots.
Like real teams that are bots, or just like the bots?
What do you mean real teams that are bots?
Like
whole-
people
You are playing-
dropping in.
There are
from-
real people and there are bots. Every
dropping
battle
in from the
they
sky,
act
from
just
the
like
battle bus.
yeah.
They're not.
So when
bots,
we
right?
eliminate like an anonymous, that's a bot, or
Not necessarily.
but their name would be anonymous, right? They wouldn't
No.
make up a fake name for
Yes.
them. They make up fake names.
Yes.
They're all around us.
Any game you play online that's dependent on players will have bots.
They're
They're
So-
learning our battle techniques.
So I'm not good at all at this game. I thought I was like really good when I win, and it's not even that. So
Well, you're
that
playing-
video I posted of 3 idiots playing Fortnite, myself included, that was probably me and 2 bots. You're saying that's why they were so bad.
No, you're saying that. I didn't say that at all. No, I don't know if they're bots or not. Yeah, any online game has bots. You know why? Because if people play a game and they don't win
They
or
quit.
do well, they quit. Yeah,
Huh.
because if that's what it
And
is,
then the bots take over.
then the bots win. Yes.
No. The bots take over their avatar, or no? That's just it's
What?
Like
People quit.
they quit, but their
No, they
player
quit playing the
stays.
game. I mean, like
Right.
they're done with the game. They never go back to it.
Oh,
If people are always playing a game that's always hard online and they never win or never have a chance of winning,
that's why I stopped playing.
then they don't ever come back. Most often they don't ever come back. So companies learned very early on we need to give some computer controlled opponents in there. So even the
Oh, right.
newcomer can go in and get something
So
done
the
and
reason I
feel a sense
continue
of
playing
accomplishment.
Mario Kart is because I'm beating all of the AI.
There you go. There you go.
Like, I'm so much better than you. I'm lapping you guys.
What's the split in Fortnite of bots versus real players? I don't know. But
Keep them guessing. That's the
Um,
most important thing.
yeah, but like there's no such thing as an online game, a battle royale, I should say, where bots aren't part of the equation. You know, if you're playing like a Halo and it's 4v4, obviously everybody's real there. But if you're 100 players all the time, they're not all going to be real people.
I can't believe this just shattered my worldview of online gaming. How
So
sad is it that I know so little about my biggest hobby? I know nothing.
Tony De La
They
Mancha
say ignorance
asks,
is bliss.
What about F-Zero 99? And I was going to.
Oh yeah, F-Zero. Not exactly. It's all the same stuff. Yes.
Really?
Yes. This is not like a company specific thing. This is a game industry thing.
They had 6 million people playing.
Even if, well, yes, those are actual accounts. Yes.
Like they needed bots for what?
I just told you why.
Just to level the playing field.
Yeah.
So
Because
there
it's
was-
all matchmaking and all that stuff. But you can't, if you just throw people in with real players all the time, they very quickly get discouraged because they're like, I can't play, I can't win, I can't kill anybody, I can't do anything. I'm done
I
with
get
this.
that
I'm
way
out.
playing the AI character. So like, I quit. I'm out.
So I mean, do I like it? No. Do I understand it? Yes, because we know that's what people do.
Now we do.
I mean, you bat out of Fortnite years ago, and it was very difficult back then. They still had bots back then, but it was, matchmaking wasn't anywhere near what it is now. But the dancing wooed you back, and friends wooed you back, and
Certainly.
yes, now matchmaking is very. I would argue that Fortnite has the greatest matchmaking as far as battle royales go. I mean, there's a reason why it's popular. They found the sweet spot of everything, really: bots and real people, silliness and seriousness, skill and open to everybody. Like it's in that sweet spot for a whole bunch of stuff that makes people feel good. So there you go. If you only want to play real people, you can do that too. If you go into
now that I know what it is.
if you go into any of the tournaments, you are only getting real people there. So you can get your 500,000 real people only. And
All right.
go, if you really want to see what it's like with only real people, go do one of those. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I believe you. No,
It's an absolute,
again,
because
I'm
not
more
even
shocked.
a tournament isn't just all real people. It's all real sweaty people. Like they're the most difficult and most difficult.
That's very funny, Malik Halo.
Okay, we're all laughing at what you said.
Next,
That's
do
more of a
learns that
lube
Ask
situation.
Jeeves isn't a real guy.
That's
I
good.
know Ask Jeeves isn't real.
Oh, that guy died a long time ago. Yes, sorry. I didn't know we were breaking an illusion for you, but I apologize. But yeah,
No,
you can
I'm-
always get your dose of
I'm
reality if you
glad to
want.
know. It was just a shock to the system because I thought we were decent Fortnite players, and I think this proves that we're not.
You're
really.
wrong. See, this is where you're wrong. We are decent Fortnite players because you're taking it as like there's bots. We only kill bots. we are fighting a majority of real people, but there are bots too. We are decent players. We're decent average players.
The
we're
bots probably don't teabag, so
Yes,
that's how I'll know.
Exactly. Yes. If you ever see a character randomly pickaxing a wall at the beginning of a game, they're a bot. Like that's a bot. But
Or it would be me.
So I may be naive here or biased or both. But when I picture you guys like going out there, I picture like you just like slaughtering everyone and like
Thank you.
Like the only times that you don't win are like, you know, when you're up against like they must be really, really good or like you just had bad luck. Like I feel like you guys are elite, and I think it comes from that time that Droth's now husband and his friends thought that they could annihilate you, and they had a land party
I look
here.
back on that as a war. That was
and you know what?
We took that very
PTSD
seriously.
from that.
And it was like a story, like
Yes.
because Droth and I are best friends, and we have like these warring
And
factions.
some of you chose better people to be with than others.
Some of us chose. We each chose our own path.
Winners. Somebody chose.
So in the grand
We like
scheme
went
of
out
Fortnite,
to eat. We like went out to the diner with Angela because all of us were like, we gotta go. We gotta be somewhere else.
in the grand scheme of Fortnite, we are, I would say, and I'm basing this on nothing but feeling and experiences in the game, we are better than average, but we are nowhere near tournament level. Like not even close.
I don't think you could like if you had really
we
good
could
luck, hold your
accidentally
ground.
win. Not even a tournament. We could accidentally win a tournament game. I would say maybe once or twice a month. Like it could happen.
So
People whittle each other down. They're low on health. We could make it happen. Our team can do stuff, and we can win, and we can beat good people. We can. But tournament play is a completely different kind of thing. Those are the
like
people
no
who
amount
are
of
like
training for you guys would really put you there.
like no. Tournament play is like you are playing that all day, every day. You are learning the meta game. You're like all of it. You're doing key bindings. You're doing everything and anything there is to possibly get even a modicum better at the game. So if we only dedicated all of our gameplay time to Fortnite and we had like strategy meetings and like it'd be insane. It would be insane. But that's the tournament play is so high. Like I should show you some like tournament Fortnite play because tournament any play like anything you name it, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Call of Duty. You watch tournament stuff. It's a completely it's a level that you watch and you're like, I could never get to that.
It's no different than athletics, right? Like there are like elite athletes whose job it is to be an athlete.
But there are everybody has a certain thing in their life where they could be at least in that area somewhere.
I don't.
So like
there's nothing in my life where I can approach that.
You know, there might be some game out there where you could be a competitor in a Suika game. Like you might have what it takes. I'm using it as an example. I'm not saying you are.
I think my profession, is about as far as I could go.
What I'm getting at is saying like just because you're not an elite Fortnite player doesn't mean you can't be an elite level gamer in another game. You could have like Flicky. You could be the best Flicky player or something. It could happen. But yes, as far as like more traditional esports stuff goes, you're talking about like a different breed, as they say. Those people are starting younger, focusing on that one thing. And what a lot of those people have in common is they'll all say they hate the game because they play it on such a level that it's not a game anymore.
So sad.
It's
what a bummer.
A job, a way of living. They see it in a completely different way.
Funny, when I worked for the ice cream place down the street, I did not feel that way about ice cream. And you would think that would happen, but no, my love
may
is
you never
too deep.
feel that way. Roth says esports environment is definitely more involved in casual home play. Yes, that's true. That's why you go in Fortnite with the Great Unwashed and zero build or your regular build. And if you want the next level, you go to, there's tournaments all the time, every single day, 24 hours a day. You go in those modes to play.
If you want the ultimate, you've got to be willing to pay the ultimate price.
My cousin was like, she'll play and she'll be like, I think I could beat Ninja. And I'm like, that's great that you feel like that, but there's really no chance.
Mean, like it's like 90% visualization, right? So if they can really picture it,
if you can see it, then you can do it. So I was like, go do tournament play. So she went and did tournament play. And she's like, these people are insane. She's like, I couldn't even walk. I was like, I know that's what it's like. And they're not ninja. Like this tournament play is nuts. I tried a couple tournaments and like the amount of fright you feel when you see another person, it's next level.
Did your cousin say, I want to beat Ninja?
I'm not touching that. Moving on. We heard rumors of a Smash Brothers OLED bundle for the Switch. And that's a big deal because we have
Dude, did you hear anything about that? It's a rumor.
No, not yet.
We have a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle, and Nintendo trots it out every holiday season because it does so well. But believe it or not, yes, this was true. It's a Switch OLED bundle. So it gets you a Switch OLED, a Smash Brothers, copy of Smash Brothers, 3-month Nintendo Switch Online individual membership. And it's all this for $350. But here's the extra bonus. The Joy-Cons have the Smash Brother markings on them, the hash marker, the cross, whatever you want to call it. So it's a little something extra special there, which is pretty cool because who the hell saw this coming? So if you don't have a Switch or you're a huge Smash Brothers fan, and Nicky Hill's like, I don't see that marked anywhere.
No, I'm wondering where it came from. I mean, it was on the Smash Ball or whatever.
It's right there.
Where did it originate? No, I see it.
I don't know. Let's look at the original Smash Brothers and see if it's in there.
What is it a symbol of?
He said before, like the 4
Smashing.
pieces mean something.
The smallest one is where I am.
That's the little brother.
That's it. No. Yes, here we go.
Has something to do with Master Hand. Master Hand? Master Glove?
The symbol made his first appearance in the introduction clip of the original Smash Brothers.
Wow.
Sakurai's explanation.
Mm.
Intended to be a simple design, Sakurai stated that the cross represents a crossover of the various Nintendo characters and properties, while the logo's 4 sections reference the 4-player aspect of the games. There you
the
go.
Smallest one.
A cross of all the
Based on skill.
franchises and a 4-player game. And now we know a little bit more about
But now
Nintendo's
you
history.
can play with more than just 4, right? Or is it always just 4? Always 4?
You can do 8 now.
I'm gonna update that image.
Well, tweet him. Tell the man who almost killed himself working on Smash Brothers to do more work. Sticer says a new system that actually includes a copy of the game. Wow, incredible!
This late in its life,
Wow.
right before they throw out a new system.
There we go. Hey, none of that talk here. Oh my God,
What?
we don't know when. I don't want to mislead anybody. We don't know when the new system's coming out.
Potentially.
Potentially, yes.
So get out there and buy this OLED version. Comes with Smash Brothers.
I forgot this was even part of the news, and it was the worst part of my week. The Nintendo Q2 fiscal year 2024 results came out, and I did the breakdown for you. As always, it starts on Monday night with the first press release, which isn't so bad. It's day 2 that's the
made
bad
money.
part.
They expect to make more money.
Day 2 is the more of like the slides and the talk from Nintendo's president. And then there's
Slides?
the
This meeting sounds fun.
then there's the Q&A, which has to be translated. And when does it get dropped? Ever since Shintaro Furukawa took over, it drops 5 a.m. on Friday. So I was there to cover all that as well. But we got all the details. Let me tell you the specifics, not all the details, but I'll give you the gist of it. Year-on-year net sales went up 21%, 796 billion. Profit went up. Everything went up. Everything went up. The Switch somehow managed to sell better in this Q2 than last Q2, which is mind-boggling. Sales in the first half of this fiscal year for the Switch were the largest since the Switch's launch. What is going on? That's crazy. Unit sales of Switch hardware and software both increased year on year. The highest percentage of sales went to the Switch OLED. We don't need to do any of that. We don't need to do any of that. We don't need to do any of that. Nintendo upped their forecast by 5 million for the amount of software sold for the fiscal year. They kept hardware the same, which I don't remember what it was, but I think it's 15 million. I think. We got our updated million sellers list. Let me tell you, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still the best-selling Nintendo Switch game. There are 132.46 million Switch units sold around the world, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch has sold a staggering, I lost the damn number, 50 something.
57.01 million.
Thank you. 57 million. Yeah, so that's crazy. Animal Crossing New Horizons has sold 43 million. Smash Brothers has sold 32 million. Breath of the Wild has sold 31. Odyssey has sold 26. Pokemon Sword and Shield at 26. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at 23. Super Mario Party at 19. Tears of the Kingdom. We finally got our first sales figure for the game. Tears of the Kingdom in its first quarter sold 19.5 million units. Jesus Christ. That sucker came out of the gate crazy. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at 16 million. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury at 12 million. Nintendo Switch Sports at 10 million. Pikmin 4 at 2.61 million. So that's 8 months worth of sales. And you know what that means?
Almost
Sorry,
baby
IGN.
time.
Sorry, IGN.
Oh.
Remember, if you'll remember, IGN said probably not going to be a Pikmin 5 game isn't selling well. Well, Pikmin 4 in 8 weeks became the best-selling Pikmin game of all time. So IGN was just slightly wrong on what they said, which is why I offered such pushback back then, because I knew how wrong it
We'll
was.
see if they make a Pikmin 5, though.
We will see. They could
But
be right about that.
That's a lot, though. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom sold 17 million more. I don't understand why that's a good number.
I mean, for it to be a million seller, I guess it's a good thing.
Every
to sell 2.5
franchise-
million.
Every franchise isn't a AAA big budget franchise. Like, it's like saying a Mario movie made 1.3 billion. The A24 movie made 25 million. Like, they're completely different leagues. Both are successful. Both made money. And this is the best-selling Pikmin game of all time. And that's why they keep making them, because expectations for Mario or Zelda is, double digits. Expectations for Pikmin is 1.5 million, 2 million, something like that. So in I think I said 8 months, or 8 weeks. I think it was 9 weeks. Pikmin 4 sold 2.61 million. So it managed to beat every other Pikmin game in just 9 weeks. So
That's only been
from when their fiscal period ended, like the data that they have.
When does it end?
September 31st. Yes, September 31st. So Pikmin was July. So you get a little bit of July, all of August, and all of September.
It's only one quarter, right?
Yep, that's right. Only one quarter. So again, very
That's
impressive. That's
right.
exactly what you want to see for a franchise you're trying to grow. You want the newest one to be the best selling, and
Grow.
it wasn't in 9 weeks.
Flowers, like Pikmin.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which once again was already the best-selling Kirby game of all time, is now at just shy of 7 million sold. Combined sales of all Switch software are at 1.1 billion units sold. I told you 132 million Switches sold out there. We don't need to do any
I
of
want to see
that.
the numbers on returns and trade-ins.
We don't need to do any of that. Nintendo doesn't track that stuff. Nobody returns to Nintendo or trades in with Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't want you to. First-party software release calendar. Nothing new there. Everything stayed the same. The release of Super Mario Bros. Movie positively impacted sales of all Mario-related titles, including Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And mobile and IP-related business sales went up 133% year on year, but that's mainly due to the Mario movie. Hawk says, as a consumer, I don't like the price of games going up, but as somebody who has seen the price of everything go up over the past 2 years, I understand why it's $70 now. Oh, this is a fight. And there was probably no better game than a highly polished and feature-packed Zelda game to ease us into the new price bracket. I'm hoping we won't see too many more $70 games in the Switch library. And then when the next console launches and the games are regularly $70, their increase in quality will make it feel justified. Yeah. Have we had any other $70 game? No, right?
Not that I know of.
Just Tears of the Kingdom. Wario's out, and that's $50. Mario's out, and that's $60. Yeah, I don't know of any other $70 games. Nintendo at the time said not every game's going to be $70.
Suika game's out and it's $3.
That's right. That's right.
A bargain.
That's what my brain's spending her time doing right now. Pikmin 4, we already talked about.
Listening and paying attention to you guys.
I stated it as a fact.
Okay.
Please speak into the microphone, Mom Brain.
I did.
Mm-hmm. And remember last week we talked about that Switch, or no, we talked about that patent. And we were like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah.
Three-screen Switch.
So that was brought up by an investor, as were the discussions of Nintendo supposedly showing the Switch's successor to some third parties behind closed doors. Nintendo's president was like, no, that's not true.
Let's show them the landscaping only.
He said, reports on us showing next-gen hardware behind closed doors were, quote, inaccurate, end quote. So more than enough wiggle room there with the word inaccurate.
The doors were open.
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo could be like, we didn't show them the next-gen hardware. We just showed them what we had planned for it because it's not done
Showed them
yet.
pictures.
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
the next gen.
We showed them technically what it would be like by running it on a computer, but we didn't show them the hardware. Yeah, that was like when Nintendo was like, we don't have another version of the DS coming out, and then the next day was the DS Lite, and they're like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, it's like, we can see you winking, sir.
Yeah, it's a nervous twitch. Why are you nervous? Next question, please. There you go. They also talked about the patent. And Mr. Furukawa says the recent patent that was discovered.
That's what he said?
Oh, he said, quote, we are aware that the patent information is published upon application. However, this does not necessarily mean that it will be featured in future products, end quote. So the same things I
Case in
always tell you
point.
guys.
The little horsey ride.
That will be the Switch's successor. They're finally going to circle back to that. 8-Bit Lego says, hopefully this is a repeat of the, quote, there is no DS Lite, end quote, only for the DS Lite to be announced the next day. Wow, that's funny. I really like the looks of the patent and want it to be real. Well, we'll find out. Is Nintendo going to lie or are they telling the truth? I don't know. We'll find out together. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip that. We already did that. Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Just have to wait and see.
That's right, Josh. Nintendo didn't include sales data for Super Mario Brothers Wonder in their latest fiscal report because it ended September 31st and Mario Wonder came out October 20th. But Nintendo did offer an update in their briefing that came afterwards. They said Super Mario Brothers Wonder has sold 4.3 million copies in its first 2 weeks. That makes it the fastest selling Mario game of all time.
Oh,
there you go.
Man.
What?
People are going to think it's all Kevin Afghani that sold it, but no.
So yeah, there's another perfect example. You're saying Zelda sold 19 million in 3 months or 2.5 months. Mario sold 4.3 million in 2 weeks, but that still makes it the best seller or the fastest selling Mario game of all time. So there you go. And that'll be a very
all Marios, even 3D ones.
You name a Mario, this one sold quicker.
Mario and the 6 golden coins.
Yes, it's sold
sold more than that game.
I'm gonna guess. Well, I figured you were talking about the Game Boy one, but yes, 4.3 million units within the first 2 weeks. Fastest selling Mario game ever. Although Nintendo does say
faster than Odyssey.
There's
In Galaxy 2.
Yes. Hi, Solid Masterling.
Super Mario Third World.
It's true. Though that doesn't exist. Nintendo does say this only counts from Wii and DS onwards because the sell-through data wasn't tracked before that. But it's a moot point. Super Mario 64 and anything before that wasn't going to sell quicker than any of the other ones.
What
That's
Super
just not
Mario
how it
Run?
works. That didn't sell.
Can't be faster than Super Mario Run.
It runs in the title.
What about Heartbeat Panic?
Oh, I like what you did there. And yes.
That's taking it down 2 levels of subterfuge of secret for all the real fans. Thank you.
Many hands make the village baby grow. Funny. That's funny. Entropy says, and I'm still on the fence, so I'll get it down the line for sure, though. Well, there you go. Then you'll be added into that tally at some point. Booster Course Pass Wave 6 is out. You don't need to know that. But again, we're done there. Over. All the DLC for Mario Kart, as far as we know, is done. So you ain't getting no more. North America. What'd you get in North America? Let me tell you. We got anything good? I remember there being some notable titles. Hogwarts Legacy is coming out November 14th. So what's that? Today's 11th, 12th, Tuesday? Again, native port, not a cloud-based game. And now we have the first official trailer of the Switch version. And I gotta say, It looks pretty impressive. Doesn't look as good as the other versions, obviously, but it looked pretty better. It looked better than I thought it was going to look, to be honest. How does it run? We'll all find out together. Super crazy rhythm.
People not getting like there's an embargo.
Well, I don't know if other outlets got review copies. All I can tell you is I requested one and I have not heard anything back. So doesn't mean other outlets aren't getting it, but that's my experience. Not even a response, which is rare. Usually you'll hear back, but nothing, nada.
They ghosted you like nearly headless Nick.
Super crazy rhythm castle.
Minerva. Is that her name?
Moaning Myrtle?
Myrtle.
Minerva Mink.
Moaning Myrtle.
Mm-hmm. Minerva is McGonagall, the professor. She's still alive.
Air Twister, Astral Ascent, ATV Monster Racing Simulator Rallycross, Benfito, Berserk Recharged.
Somebody around here farting because I'm catching an Astral Ascent.
I like it. Rim shot there. Bob the Elementalist, Burning Secrets, a Barra visual novel. Catan Console Edition. You have to pay money for it. You cannot exchange wood or wheat. Or wool. Claire Extended Cut. Cooking Arena 8-in-1 Edition. Double Dragon Advance. Dragon Wings. Arrow Gods Olympus. Flooded. Football Manager 2024 Touch. Internet Cafe Minigames 10-in-1. Karmazoo. Lily in Puzzle World. Paper IO2 Animals Edition. Perfectly designed. PAW. Perfectly. People will money. Boy, will they. Poly Turbo Drift Racing Simulator. Prison Break. Jail Escape Simulator. Radio Cars.
Come in handy someday. You never know.
Rogue Glitch Ultra. Sakura Alien 2. Seven Spirits. Slaughter the Lost Outpost. Smash Balls. Spells and Secrets.
I can't wait till you read the first comment, by the way.
Spirit Tea. By the way, there's a demo for Spirit Tea out right now. And if you're wondering, is this a game about drinking tea and ghosts? Yes, it is.
Wow.
Super Double Dragon.
Cubby Wubby Womb Room Tea.
The Great
Wait,
Battle.
does your mom know about Spirit Tea?
Doubt it. I don't even know.
Those are
It's
two
been in the
things
works
that
for
are
a
in
long
her
time.
wheelhouse.
Yeah,
true,
actually,
it's true.
she doesn't need any, actually. It might be too much.
When you're doing European releases, I will tell her about it. I'll text her. The Great Battle of Shark, Monkey, Squirrel, Dinosaur, Bird, Bee. Dinosaur spelled wrong, probably by me. The Trotty's Adventure. No, it's not. It's by Nintendo, unless that's how you spell it. The Trotty's Adventure. Urban Flow Diamond Edition. Village Tycoon, Farm City Simulator. Versh Evermore, Error, Salvation. Warzone Soldier, Battle Royale Shooter. And Zombies, Rising Dawn. Guy Bones says, Super Smash My Balls. I was thinking that as I read the title.
Nice.
Joshua Grobot, could you please introduce the one and only Nicky Hill?
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find
Here
out with
comes
Nicky's
the cat Discord gifts. And
Is that what
rightfully
happens
so.
when I'm distracted reading these?
You get the grooving cat.
Always.
Yeah.
So this is European. Thank you, Josh, for speaking my
Year of
name.
our Lord.
European
Year of
releases
our
for the Switch
Lord.
eShop for the week of November 9th, year of our Lord 2023. We're getting near the end of the year.
It's true, believe it or not.
Get your things in order. AAA Pro Clock 2020 year of our Lord 2023. Adventure World Around the World. I'm a Billy. I'm a Billy. I'm Big Billy, the
I'm a
biggest
Billy.
Billy.
I'm Big Billy.
I'm a Billy, the biggest Billy.
I'm a belly.
Arcade Archives, Shellins Road, ATV, Monster Racing Simulator Rallycross, Benfito.
Benfito's words. Yeah! Yeah!
Berserk Recharged, Bob the Elementalist, Burnout, Catan Console Edition, Cobalt Core, Dragon Wings, Draw and Go, DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing, Why It's You,
Oh, I know where this is going.
Ebenezer and the Invisible World. So the game is not why it's just Ebenezer and the Invisible World. Aero Gods, Olympus. Excessive Trim.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! Farmer Bundle. Flooded. Football Manager, Year of Our Lord 2024 Touch. I feel like
Touch? Well, of course you do feel like.
I don't know. I just feel like
Woo!
a lot of football
Ben
managers get in trouble
Fightos!
for
I like
touching.
it. We'll have a review of that game.
For a Race, GT2D, GT2D, 3D, 40D, 3D. Grace of L'Etoile. L'Etoile?
Race of the Toilet.
Grace of the Toilet. I don't know. You figure that one out. L'Etoile. Hot Love Dreams. Classic hentai logic puzzle.
Okay.
Internet Cafe minigames 10 in 1. Jumanji Wild Adventures. And you said last week, I think, that is Jumanji with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Remanji.
That one will
Jumanji.
definitely
Yes, it
suck
is.
you into the game.
Let's Sing 2024, Year of Our Lord. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
I've heard fantastic things about this game. Like, I've heard it's legit really
Is it a
good. It's a Smash Brothers clone.
Is it a Smash Killer?
Cool.
Smash Killer? No, because this is the sequel. The first one didn't kill Smash. I doubt the second one will. But I've heard great things about the sequel. No joke. Very high reviews all over the place. And I showed you one of the taunts of Garfield, where
Oh, yeah.
there's a Garfield
That was
taunt
awesome.
where when you do the taunt, Garfield turns into original Garfield, like the first drawing of Garfield. It's great.
It's really awesome. I mean, it's
The
enough
attention to detail.
for this Garfield fan to want
Watch
to
a
play
trailer.
it. To watch a trailer.
To
I'm
watch a
certainly not going
trailer.
to play it.
One Night Burlesque. Perfectly designed. Pixel Game Maker Series Project Nosferatu. Prison Break Jail Escape Simulator. Honestly,
I
kinda
got
feel
that
like-
from the Prison Break part.
I kind of just feel like maybe that's a game to not make. We don't need that simulator, right? Some of these simulation games get a little
You
too.
had No Way Out. No Way Out was a prison break simulator.
Was it?
Yeah, you
It
literally
was.
break out of prison.
But it was a
Friend.
game though.
Yeah, it's just like this
you
is
know
a
what?
game.
You and I would have fun playing that. We should play that if it's ever available
one?
for free. No Way Out. It's
Oh.
an older one.
All right. Radio Cars.
I can see Nicky Hill being real funny playing that.
Yes, they're very much getting into it. I agree.
Real Car Parking 2024 Driving Simulator. Risk of Rain returns.
It's a remake of the original,
Which is
and I
not-
hear they did an excellent job
How
with
old
it.
is it?
The original Risk of Rain?
Yeah.
It's 10 years old?
Is it really?
Something like that?
Salt and Sacrifice. Sanabi. Smash Balls. Spells and Secrets. Super Double Dragon. Versh Evermore Error Salvation. Warzone Soldier Battle Royale Shooter. What the Golf?
I don't know why that's on the list. I'm pretty sure that was out already. Maybe it's a retail release.
And White Wings.
Is there a comment, Nicky Hill?
From Guy Bones as well. In the week of November 9th, in the year of our
Bless you.
Lord
Bless you.
2023. God bless you. Which of these games does or would Nicky Hill find most interesting?
Well, not the prison one, that's for sure.
I don't know anything about Benfighto words, but I want to know more about it.
Well, there you go. There's the winner. And
no, wait, never mind. Hot Love Dreams, of course.
oh, you're the hentai correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and that's where we're ending top story. So, Mom Brain,
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, tell us about Suika game.
It's delightful. It's been
1 week.
it's been just lovely. No complaints. Played Penny and Flow this week. While I listened to a lecture on, well, it doesn't matter. And I think that's it.
Radio voice. And it is. It doesn't matter.
That-
Radio voice. Give me teacher voice. That's what I should be saying.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not using teacher voice.
Okay.
You'll yell at me. You'll get upset.
Can I bring something up about how you speak and you'll be okay with it? Permission to speak freely, as I usually ask.
Permission granted.
I mean it in a nice way. But like we were at
But-
a drive-through recently.
Dairy Queen.
Must
I'm
have
sorry.
been
I'm sorry. Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
because
From the sternum.
you know how I always tell you whenever you sing anything, you're always like you have like a sweet teacher's singing voice, no matter what the song is. Like you guys know what
I know
like
the voice well. A sweet voice.
Yes.
As in a generic sweet voice, or everyone knows
No,
I
like
have
a
like
sing-
a
like
song
sweet
is
as
sweet
like a
voice.
bird, like sweet like a bird. Like,
yes, exactly.
Your screensaver.
Thank you.
like
Um,
I'm wishing.
Yeah.
Like
But
not
we were
like
at-
that, but in that you feel that.
It must have been Dairy Queen or whatever, but yeah, we were there, and you always do the sweet teacher voice when we're out at places like that too, which is great because I'm sure it's very
When
welcoming.
ordering, like being very
But at
polite,
Dairy
very
Queen, you
sweet.
like really poured it on because they were like, "What are you having?" And you're like, "I'll have one blizzard with pumpkin and a whatever." And they're like, "Okay, it's 6:57." You're like, "Thank you very much." We got to the door and they handed it to you, and you're like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Do
And
you
they're
think
like,
they're not picturing this on the other side of it when they hear
I
it?
don't know. I think they're picturing like birds flying with the car coming like and like landing on your shoulder. It's great. I don't do it, but I want to secretly record you and play it for you later and be like, this is what you sound like because it's very like sing-songy and sweet.
Is that what I sound like?
Yeah,
It's
but the
nice,
only
it's
reason
nice.
I would, you wouldn't do it anyway. But like the only reason I'd say don't is to not discourage her. Like I don't want her
Exactly,
thinking
yeah.
about it because
She
it's
knows-
a good thing.
She
Like,
knows I know that she does that, and she knows she does it, but she also knows that I really like
But
it.
I
It's
don't
just-
like do it on purpose.
I
Like,
know,
you know,
yeah.
it just
That's
happens.
the best part. That's the best part. Yeah. No, it's very nice. Is that all you played, Monbray?
Yes, that's all I played.
Do what have you been up to in the world of video games?
Cuckoo. Got a whole laundry list over here. So every morning I play my round of Animal Crossing, doing what I can to get those bells, racking up storage space in the house, and talking to friends on the old island. And every day I always say, you know what, I should do one DLC house, and in 30 days I'll be able to, you know what, screw it. And then I turn the game off. Played some Fortnite OG with the boys. Got our
Fortnite.
first and second wins, so that was exciting.
Very proud of those. Very proud of those. Hard fought,
Yeah.
definitely more than your regular season wins because, as we said, the map is back, but mechanically it's back to older days as well. So shield isn't as plentiful, health isn't as plentiful. Much more about gunplay.
Much more.
Much
Yeah,
more.
that's the
So
biggest thing is
those
the health
wins
and the
are hard
shield.
fought, but they feel good.
Yeah, that does feel good, and we're not, as anyone who listens to us knows, we don't take it seriously at all. We're there for fun. We do like to win, but it's never serious. Anytime we win, usually we're talking about like movies and we're like, wait, that was the last guy or something.
Yeah.
But in this season, our 2 wins were highly due to communication.
Yep.
And we're not usually, I mean, we'll tell people, we'll mark people and stuff, but we're not like, SEAL team go, blue team go. Like we're not that serious. But holy cow, to get those wins, we had to really communicate it, and that was a nice it's
That one
cool
we
to
most
win
recently got was
I-
purely great communication
Yeah.
and great in the moment decisions by everybody
Exactly.
on the team. It
Yes.
was it was such a good win.
it was
so good.
really exciting, and it was really satisfying at the end when we won to be like, great game, guys. We really like communicated that well.
Yeah.
And hey, I'll take a win where a guy's out in the storm not paying attention and we win. I'll take
Oh,
it any way I
yeah,
can get it.
yeah.
But it was cool to like get a couple where it felt like we really had to earn it.
They were not, every once in a while at the end you'll get a team where you're like, we're gonna be all right, we can take this. But this was like people back and forth healing each other and like teams like trying to keep everybody it was a lot.
It was
a lot.
crazy. Yeah, it was very hectic, but very satisfying.
It was a good one.
So it's fun, and they've been changing things, updating it as it goes throughout the seasons.
Every
I guess, so.
Thursday there will be more new old stuff. So this Thursday brought hoverboards and ATVs, some more new weapons, the Porta Fortress, no new old weapons. But yeah, it's still more difficult certainly, but now we got some more traversals, so that's nice. But yeah, it's
getting
good.
there.
It's good.
So I played some Suika game. Suika game's good. I just beat my high score this morning, but I haven't cracked 3,000 yet. I'm at like 29 something. So I'm like right up there.
What
I
her high score
cracked,
is.
just barely cracked 3,000.
Ooh.
And I don't know if I can see where, when it was, but it was recently.
Yeah.
Very recently.
Cool. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just great to play. I can't stop playing it either. Like I'll have to go to the bathroom and I'll be like one more game and it'll be like 4 games
Yes.
later and it's like I'm going to die here because I refuse to go to the bathroom.
Storbers Corbin says my daughter tried Suika game and got a watermelon on her first try.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
You got to
Pro
enroll
player,
her in
pro
some
player.
sort of
Yeah.
special school, like talk to Professor X or whoever you need to get her a leg up, because that's
great. Professor X for Suika game. He brings together the greatest Suika players. There is a farm on Professor X's academy grounds. There, I've seen it in a few comics. So there you go.
Man, that would be a pretty interesting mutant power. I'd feel gypped, but it would be useful.
Well, it's one of those things where
to double fruit sizes.
Xavier, a lot of people. I don't want to go too far into it, but there's a lot of X-Men who have powers who don't like that they have powers and they don't like using them to fight. So like the one guy that I know that always farms, he's not the Blob. He's like some guy made out of like pink goo, and you see his actual skeleton.
I read that
inside.
one. That was
he
great.
does a lot of farming and work with animals.
I read that on your recommendation. It was the new class or something. I forget what it was called.
I love that guy because he's not big on fighting or doing anything, and he
was cool.
Does that farming and animal husbandry because he's using it to relax and to meditate. I really love that character. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Age of X-Men Next Gen. I'm looking at now you got me thinking of that. X-Men God Loves Man Kills. No. Age of X-Men Omega, maybe. I don't know. It was one of those. But
I think it's one of the ones in my office. I could go take a look.
Yeah. Played some Mario Wonder. And it's really great. It's the best Mario game ever. Still not finished with it. But I don't know. I'm starting to abandon my plan of getting 100% on everything just because there were a few things that were next gen. Cool. Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, Mario Wonder's great. And then last but not least, this week I actually forgot to talk about it last week. The DLC for Dead Island 2 called House, Haus. I played. Everybody here knows that I love Dead Island, and I know it's hackneyed a game, but it's, for me, a blast to play. So I liked jumping back in and playing a bit. I've got a couple of little gripes with it. It's here's the thing. I bought the super version of the game, so I didn't have to spend the $30 extra on this DLC. I would be pretty upset if I did spend $30 on this. It's not very long at all. You could do it in a couple of hours, and it doesn't add much. It's an isolated kind of story mission, and it's not even like a real big story. It's not even like a story. It's just like kind of a rehashed cult kind of thing. Like that was one of my problems with it. Is it doesn't tread any new ground. Like you go to a mansion and there's a cult living there, and it's very they talk to you through the radio and you go through different trials, and you've seen it 100 times before. You know what I mean? You're going through a specially designed obstacle courses with death traps and stuff like that. I mean, you've seen it a million times. So it's one of the most uninspired DLCs out there. But it's fun to play. It's a fun little story mission. It's not worth $30 in my opinion, but I definitely.
There's still more DLC coming, right?
There's one more DLC story thing coming, and and there's been silly things like little weapons or costumes and stuff.
Iced, I was going to ask the same thing. We want to know: did you wear your wrist supports?
I did. I had to.
Good move.
Yeah, got back into. to be honest, I didn't think I was even gonna get to play it, because when I started it up, it had been so long since I played that I was like, I can't really. And you're like level 50 or something, so it's like at that point, it's like I don't even remember how to play. I just powered through it. It really wasn't that difficult to get back into it, and then you know, I once I started picking up items like in fast succession with the X button, I was like, I need my wrist straps immediately. So yes, there is a problem. I wanted to bring it today, actually. There's a problem with my PS5 controller, which is a real big problem in Dead Island 2, I found, is if you lightly press backwards with the left thumbstick, you will walk backwards. But if you, in a fit of passion, go all the way backwards, you will either not go backwards at all, just stand still, or in worst case scenario, you'll go forwards as fast as you can. So how many times have I been trying to jump back from a zombie swiping at me only to go right into him? Or how many times have I jumped off a cliff or jumped into fire because I was trying to back up from it? So I don't know. I tried to restore the settings on the controller, and I don't think it's that. I think it's something wrong with the controller itself. It happens in Fortnite as well.
Hi, Blood Ocean.
So I was going to bring it here tonight and like just try it on yours, but I don't know what that would really do. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to contact Sony. Maybe they can like replace it or fix it or something.
Yeah, I would at least try it and see if they got an option or not.
Yeah, so
Have you
it's
looked
kind
it
of a
up?
bummer.
Is it a problem that other people have?
I looked it up, but I first of all, I'm awful at navigating Ask Jeeves. He hasn't been working with me ever since. But seriously,
He never calls anymore.
I'm awful at Google. Like I typed it all in, and there are problems, but it's not like my problem. It's always like, you know, it's something related to that, but not for me. Like it's mostly something else. So, yeah, I think it might be a physical problem with the controller. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. There's, you know, it's fun for me to go back and play because like I said, I love Dead Island and the whole idea, the gameplay and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's not, I would say, not worth the $30 if you were going to have to spend that much for it. It's kind of one of those things that it's like, why wasn't this included? Like, why couldn't this one mission have been included in the final game?
Yeah.
Are they really working on this since the last game came out? Maybe they were, but it doesn't have like that kind of, it doesn't have a feeling like they were really putting a heck of a lot of effort into it, you know? And it still does the same thing that like bugs me about Dead Island. Like you can't close doors still, which annoys me. You can't, each cutscene is the same no matter what person you are. So like I played it through twice with like a sassy character, and there's a part where, this is not a spoiler, he's like spinning around a chair to toy with this severed head that's talking to him. Yeah, I know. It's like very God of War. Like it's so like everything's so hackneyed in it. But anyways, he's turning the chair, and the head can't do anything about it because it's just a head. So he's like messing with it. But then you're like the nice lady character that I have, and she's doing the same thing, but she's not really, her voice isn't messing with her. But it's like, why would she be doing that? You're like, because we didn't want to make 2 animations or something. So there's little things like that are just kind of annoying, but you're not playing it for the story, you know? So I don't know. Wish it was included from the beginning. That was Dead Island 2, and that's what I've been playing this week. Thank you very much for listening. Nicky Hill.
Hi. To segue from that into what I've been playing, there's a similar thing with Mario Wonder that I was just like, why can't they just take it that extra step? There's like a cutscene or an animation where no matter what character you play with, it's like a silhouette of Mario or something. I don't know if it's like when you grab a flower and you take off or something, and then like I don't remember at what point it is, but it's like maybe it's just a loading screen, and maybe that's why it just goes back to
okay.
Mario.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But like it's like the transition between, you know, ground play and up in the clouds or something. But it's like,
and it's just a silhouette of Mario holding
the flower
as it goes
like,
up.
Why couldn't it be Daisy or something? Like, or you know, like. But whatever, I'm not that upset about it.
Did you notice? Have you beaten a level as the elephant with water in your nose? Because he'll like spray water on the little flower man.
Yes.
Little touches like that I like.
Yes, I did do that. And then also there's times when if you don't, then the flower prince,
Florian?
Florian,
Is that his name?
like pops out and opens up their flower bulb
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. I played a level that was very frustrating for me. It's level 1. No,
And what was the music in that level?
no, so
Ba-bu-da-bu-da-ba.
it was there was a lot of jumping, and I was screwing it up regularly, and it got me very frustrated with
Well, that boils it down.
with the voice actor, because it didn't sound like Mario jumping, it sounded like Mickey Mouse, and I was like, this is
Well, I don't know if you know this, but it's a different voice actor now.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like this voice actor, when the efforts or whatever, when you're stuck in an area in a platformer where you're struggling with a jump and you're just jumping over and over, and it sounds like Mickey Mouse and not Mario. Like
It's a different Mario now.
that sounds like Mickey Mouse. It just takes me out of it, is what I'm saying. So
Well, get used to it
no
because you
offense
got
to him,
25 years of this guy.
but do better.
You got a badge to
Yeah,
help
it's
you
like
out there?
Seacrest at New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah,
you
and
can't get away from it.
anytime I use a badge, I think to myself, well, raw meat wouldn't use this, and I'm a lesser person because of it. So that makes me
Well,
feel good
that's-
about it.
Imagine raw meat is the standard by which you measure everything. That
Well,
happens in your life.
you're never going to feel good about yourself because he's the best at everything.
Have you eaten his cooking?
I am not the best.
I
at
smelled it
everything.
once. I almost died.
I'm not the best at a lot of stuff. And also,
Yeah.
again, how I play games is weird. I recognize that. And you should never play a game based on how I play. You should play it based on how you play it.
But I don't have a basis for how I play, and I listen to you guys. And I just
Okay, then I'm
surrender.
telling you, use a badge.
I have been.
Oh. All right.
I'm saying that, but I do it, and I'm like, man,
What badge do you use? I just keep it on the extra wall
the double
jump badge.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's been a couple of levels where I've just been struggling, so then I went to like the super mushroom. You start off big, so that I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
have to-
good one. That's a great one.
That way I can just get whatever power up there is because I'm struggling. But really the wall jump, and there's times when I'm like, I don't know how anybody could accomplish this without a wall jump, but I haven't found one secret thing. There's quite a few things where I've only gotten one seed, and to what you said, yeah, I'm definitely not going to 100% it because it's not going to be fun for me if I try to do that.
Yeah, do what's gonna be fun, obviously.
But,
Just play the game. Yeah, don't
that's
worry
what-
about
don't
any
tell
of
me
that
that's
stuff.
what I am doing, Dad. Thanks, but I
Is the
played,
game fun?
yes, Reggie, thank you, and I've played some solitaire as well. That's it.
See House G's.
Yes, Clubhouse games.
RMC, what did you play, my
Oh,
man?
thanks for asking, Drew. Yes, I played Fortnite. We had some great games. Really enjoying this revisiting of the original map and mechanics and stuff. And like I've
I
said
feel like
before,
it's also a good time of year to do it because everyone's starting to feel like cozy and nostalgic. Like it was a smooth move.
well, it worked out for him certainly. Yeah, and it's only this month, so after this, we're going somewhere else. Who knows? So I played that, and then the only other thing I played this week was Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and I have 100% completed the game. So you haven't finished? You said.
No.
I'm not going to spoil things. Are you at the final world or
The Bowser world,
Yeah.
not the special
okay?
world.
Yeah. So I finished it up. For those of you who have finished the game, I want to talk about stuff, but I don't want to spoil things. Let's just say this: I loved the final Bowser level and boss battle.
But this, you're talking not
Regular
special.
final,
This
not
is just
special,
the
yeah.
regular.
Yeah, once you beat the castle, like you're done with Bowser. Like Bowser doesn't come back later or anything like
Right.
that. But yes, the final Bowser boss battle, I can say I don't think there's been I really can't think of a Bowser battle that's like that one. And that's all that I'll say. But I absolutely loved that. Also, like the final Bowser world, there's like a Mega Man-esque quality to it that I liked, and that's not. I don't mean replaying bosses or anything like that. There's just something about it. You know how in Mega Man games you go through Dr. Wily's castle and then you get to Dr. Wily. That's how this thing felt with Bowser, and I really appreciated that.
Do that, do that, do that, do
That's right.
that, do that.
So yeah, I really like that. Then I went and did the special worlds, and they were more challenging, but
Special.
they weren't like ungodly or anything like that. There's 8 special worlds, I guess, that you can
And
unlock.
the one you were telling me about the other night, that's a special world one.
So if you,
without spoilers.
well, that's not a special world. That's a level beyond that. So
Oh,
you
really?
do all the badges, or I mean, you do all the purple coins and flags and secret exits and wonder seeds in all the 6 worlds. And each world has a special bonus world in the clouds. You do all those. Then there's another like thing that there's a castle you unlock there that you do. Then it
Ooh.
takes you up a level higher, and there's just one world or one level up there. And that was exactly what I was looking for.
Wow.
That was it wasn't impossible challenging, but it was certainly the kind of challenging that I want. And I guess I shouldn't say anything about it other than it was very challenging. I'll let people get there and do it. But I will say I got there with 92 lives, and I finally beat the level with 36 or 37 lives. So I spent a lot of lives.
Sounds like I should just stop where I'm at.
Well, you don't have to do the bonus. I'm your dad. Don't do the bonus. Yes, the whole game I fought for my tastes. The regular worlds were completely what I thought they should be. The special worlds after that, I wish they were a little bit harder. The final level was exactly what I wanted. So,
Would you say that the special worlds don't feel like they're easy? They're so easy that they don't.
No.
Could have been an extra world, or
They're
significantly harder.
They're markedly harder. Yes, I lost more lives in those worlds than I did throughout the whole rest of the game. There's a couple of them that are. I like all of them, but there's a couple of them that were really good. There's one. I'm trying not to spoil things. There's one that's like timing based, and you have a countdown clock. Like you're gonna go through the stage, and you're gonna end up at the goal when the counter's got like 2 to 3 seconds left on it. You have to do everything perfectly to get through the stage to the clock as you go, and it was very satisfying, and it was a lot of fun because it goes from like big platforms to smaller platforms to literally one block platforms, and there's lots of wall kicks and everything. So I really liked it. But yes, that final world, much. Put her down. Stop. She doesn't like it.
Okay.
The final world is that final special world is much longer than all the other stages too. Like you're in there for a while. But I loved it. And the last part of that special world, I was like, oh my God, I got to do this again. I'm talking very vaguely, but I was like, this is going to be horrendous. And I died there a lot. And it made me very sweaty in the hands and in the body. But we pulled it off. We did it.
My body is sweaty.
And usually a Mario game is like, you beat the special world. Congratulations. Nothing. This game's like, you beat the special world. Here's a badge you can't get any other way. And
it sounds like a great badge.
Don't spoil anything. It is great. It is awesome. It's I was surprised that they threw you a bone at the end like that. I just wish I got it earlier in the game because unless I'm playing with friends or family that want to play, I'm not going to play the game again. So I would have used it the whole time. I don't. That's right, Nicky Hill. I don't.
So this one must be real good.
It's a badge that makes all other badges that you could use not work.
So you're not gonna play through a couple levels just to use the badge? Or?
I did, yeah, that night I did.
But that's about as far as you'll take it.
Yeah, if I'm playing with other people, I'll use it. Or if we're playing online, I'll use it. Yeah, definitely. It'll be like I'll probably always have it on because of what it does. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool little thing to do. So there you go. That's what I did. Played it, loved it. I gotta say it's my favorite 2D Mario by like a lot. It's just so inventive. You've heard us talk about it for weeks, and sad to see it go, as I always am with the Mario game, because now it'll be who knows, 5 to 7 years until we get another 2D Mario, if not more. So it's gone, but it was great while it was here. Just I really don't have any complaints. It was a wonderful 2D game. Shows how much more can be done with 2D. Controls great. It's awesome.
And
I loved it.
Mario
The game
is
is
still the
fun.
best.
He's the best. He knows what he's doing.
And not only is he still the best, he just put out the best Mario game after all these years. I mean, that's
And
incredible.
After so many years to like keep one-upping, no pun intended.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's something else.
What
All
a
right.
great way to go out. I mean,
For
the
the
Switch
Switch,
is
yeah,
not
right?
done yet, but like, it's such a great way to
It's
go
a
out.
swan song for the system, definitely. But yeah, that's a hell of a, like, I can't think of any other Nintendo system. The Wii had Skyward Sword towards its end, so that was great, definitely. But that's not going to have as far a reach as a Mario game. At least back in those days, it wouldn't. Now it might.
Right.
But yeah, great one to have so late in the system's lifespan. We got questions. Send your questions at goninpod@gmail.com. Go ninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo, video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. Ice Dilbert's got a question. In light of all the recent Reese's items on the podcast, I have some questions. Number one, what is the proper plural of Reese's? As in, I ate way too many Reese's today.
You just
Reese's.
said
That's
it.
what it is.
Reese's.
Reese's,
Yep.
yeah. A. So this is question one and then A. Is it indeed just Reese's?
Yeah.
For then what makes a single cup a Reese?
No, they're all
No,
just
they're all
Reese's.
Reese's, yeah.
It's just how it
It's
is.
Reese's. So the plural would, I guess, technically be a Reese's cup or Reese's cups. The plural would be on the cup, not
Well,
on
I
Reese's.
guess though, if it's Reese's Pieces,
Well,
And-
you never have just one.
You never have.
Reese's
Yeah, it'd be a
piece.
piece. A
you'd
piece
have
or
a
a
Reese's
pieces, a
piece.
cup or
Yeah,
cups.
yeah.
B. Is it
It's
adding?
possessive. Is it apostrophe?
I don't know. I don't.
Look that up. We need to know
Or
that.
Is Reese's?
I'm working on music.
It's a because it's theirs, so it's Reese's peanut butter cup, Reese's Pieces. So there should be a apostrophe s, I believe,
Are you looking it up? or-
unless
No, I'm doing music.
I'm in a Berenstain Bears. What's it called?
Mandela,
Mandela
effect.
effect.
Yes.
Looking
Yes, apostrophe. It is an apostrophe.
Whew.
Reese is the owner of the cups. B.
Nice of him to let
Is
us
it
have
adding an I to the end, like octopi, octopus? No.
No.
C. Can we add some ES to the end? Reese's. You can do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing
That's
that.
that's how we're doing it.
It
now.
sounds like abscesses, so I'm going to
Too
say
many.
D. Maybe it's its own plural, like look at the moose is also look at all them moose. Sure, it's its own plural because we shorthand it as Reese's. Give me the Reese's. Yeah. So you're right.
No, it should be. You know how people say moose and meese or goose and there's
So give me
goose
a
and
roos. One roos or
meese. It should go the other
Gooses.
two
way, yeah.
Reese's.
Geese's.
You want a Reese's? No, give me a bunch of roos.
I'll take a roost. You got a roost? Number two, is there a more general term for a group of Reese's, like animal groups, such as a smack of jellyfish, or a flamboyance of flamingos, or an unkindness of ravens, or a surfeit of skunks, or a buffoonery of orangutans? I don't know if there officially is. Companies spend a lot of time thinking of this stuff, so there might be, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they just don't let anyone know. Like,
exactly.
like Skittles are
Skittles
called
are
lentils,
yeah.
and they didn't tell
I
anybody.
didn't tell a single soul.
I don't know why they thought that would be unattractive.
So,
Hey, come eat your lentils.
Halloween lentil. So yeah, we don't know what it is, but if there is a name, roll
Should
by.
be like a belly of Reese's.
Oh, I
That's
like
what
the
you
sound of
got.
that. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon for $1? As Billy says. Yes, Guy Bones joined, and they asked this question. If something was handed to another entity, does that need to involve two people with hands? Specifically, handed to, not handed over, handed off, handed over. For example, the waiter can hand the check to me, but can they hand it to the table? Maybe that sounds funny. ChatGPT's example was you can hand your report to the computer, but is there an example that does sound right and makes
I
sense?
wouldn't hand a report or anything. Like a file is sent, right?
Can you hand? Does it specifically need to be two people? If you're handing off something or handing something,
I mean, yeah. If I'm
It would
using
be
that
to a
term, I
person.
would say it has to be person to person.
because
Otherwise,
otherwise you
I'm
would say
dropping it off.
you would say hand it in, but it's still going to a person when you hand it in. Teacher,
Hand it in, but it's not.
it's the
Well,
same
I
as
mean,
turning it in,
so
but they're all going.
Think of it this way. What if a person doesn't have hands?
Well, yeah, but still, the I don't want to say normal, but your typical person is supposed to come with hands. So like I think you're splitting hairs there. Like it's not like, part of the population is supposed to be born without hands, or like
Mhm.
no hands is also another default. It
Yeah.
happens, but
Well, if say it again.
and also
hand-
you wouldn't say hand off to someone without hands because that would be rude.
Mhm.
well,
Cross
handing
your
off.
T's and dot R.
Lowercase
Can you
j's.
can you? What's the specific? Because handing off.
If something was handed to another entity, does that need to involve two people with hands?
Handing to, yes.
Oh,
Handing
with
off,
hands, with hands.
no, but handing to, yes. Handing off, no.
No, because the hands are off.
Well, no, because you're that's like the equivalent of like dropping it off or something, right? Like I don't need to. Handing to though, that's a direct.
If something was
that's a
handed to
direct
another
direct.
entity, does that need to involve two people with
So
hands?
no offense to the person with no hands, but I'm going to be handing things off to you,
So handing to something
hand to hand,
if you hand to, do they have to have hands?
hand to hand. Yes.
Nicky Hill says yes. I can't think of an example where where the recipient wouldn't also have hands. I can't think of anything I say where I'm like, I handed it to the basket. I handed it to the file.
Like you hand it in,
Cabinet.
you hand in something, doesn't necessarily go hand to hand, but hand
Yeah.
it to, yes. I'm going to hand this to you. Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to have to receive it. I mean, hey, somebody who doesn't have hands, they receive it in their mouth. That's the only way it's going to work.
Then they're
but
mouthing off.
That's right.
mouthing in if they're receiving.
Well,
Yeah, they're mouthing in.
there you go.
And to make them comfortable, I'll mouth off to them so they
I
can
think we
mouth
should be
in.
careful and
No. We're all about mouthing off here.
Okay.
Get those mouths all over it. You can also send music to GoNinPod@gmail.com. GoNinPod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title to help out my brain. Let's do some music,
Maybe I will.
my brain.
Let's.
I got music. You want to hear it?
It's pretty good.
hear it? Oh.
What?
Let me get my
Is that what he sounds like?
scorekeeping ready here.
Okay.
Oh, I still got the old one.
I'm gonna do a lot of weeding on this island. It's annoying me. Can't look at it.
Gotta do
Which
it
ones are
when
the weeds?
what's his name comes to visit.
Weed.
Oh.
Deux pointing to the Animal Crossing poster in the podcast room.
Too many weeds. Got to pull them up and sell them to that weirdo that comes around every once in a while. Leaf. $20
Comes
a
around asking
bundle.
for shishi.
Oh, yes.
All right, this one comes from Knock on Wood.
Ooh, we
Phantom
know
Choo
this.
Choo.
Yep. That's why we know
That is correct.
it. Man, that's a good one.
Underrated theme. That's a top Zelda theme for me. I love that song.
And the fact that you can pull the.
What am I doing? I hate that theme. I hate it.
Man,
Trains.
so real quick, is the what was Phantom Choo Choo a favorite of yours? It's not really, right? Like
I thought I heard another song, and it's one of my favorites.
it
yes.
is? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But that theme is like that screamed adventure.
And
You
it's
are
got
off
like,
on an adventure.
and the backbeat is a train. It's got a like, come on,
Your
man.
favorite
I
thing.
didn't even hear.
How do you not appreciate that?
I'm trying to
Great.
turn so that you don't have to worry so much about
And what's the main instrument?
Oh,
A train
a-
whistle.
choo choo.
Come on, it's all there.
Is that a train
Okay.
whistle or just a
It's a
flute?
whistle,
It's a
but
flute, I thought.
Next
Tin whistle,
song
tin
comes
whistle.
from Turbo K.
It sounds familiar.
Night in the Woods.
No.
Meg's Monster.
No.
And Night in the Woods team just canceled their follow-up game.
Why? I don't
Trouble
like
at the Studio. It wasn't a direct sequel, but it was tied to it. So.
Oxenfree?
No.
Do you know if we've played this?
I believe you have.
Definitely played this.
You played it. I've played it. Have you played this? Does it
Medios?
sound familiar?
It's not.
Puzzle game?
I don't know.
Tetris
No.
connected?
This is very familiar. What is it? Switch?
It is.
Cocoon.
No.
Explosions in the Sky.
This has to be a puzzle game of some sort.
Let me check and see if anyone in the Discord has.
It's got piano. It's emotional. There's some kind of story being told here.
Grease.
No.
See, like, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. You're right. Like, I know it's not Grease, but I'm getting that kind of vibe. A story's being told through this song. Something's going on here.
Norco.
No.
Yeah, let's keep going with games in it. It's like a, like a Firewatch or an Edith Finch or something like that. Some kind of
Celeste.
No.
What's the game called?
Did you get any help from the chat?
Nobody has said it yet.
Oh, okay.
Man, I feel like I know this. It's gonna kick myself.
Silbert says, I heard the sequel to Night in the Woods was canceled because they couldn't figure out how to hand it off.
That's it. I guess we give up. Break our hearts.
Thomas was alone.
We were knocking on the door. We were in the right genre.
Turbo
of a
K.
I did play that.
Good job, Turbo K.
I did play that.
We were right there.
This one comes from Ask Me. In just a moment, please. Just bear with me. I think you'll find it.
Hotline Miami?
Yeah.
All right, we're back on track.
Nice.
Hotline Miami's got a great soundtrack.
Makes me want to drive fast.
Yeah.
In one of those moods.
Makes me want to kill people because that's what you do in a game.
I mean, that's
While
my
wearing a freaky
baseline.
mask.
That's right.
Oh,
There's a chicken mask.
I see it. All right, that was from Ask Me. Here comes one. Oh dear. Never mind. One moment, please. Here comes one from Geku Kitsune.
It's either bad quality or it's the DS.
It's the DS.
Okay. It's good. Is it Nintendo good or is
No.
it Square good?
Nope.
Oh
As
boy.
far as I know.
Okay. Okay. Do you know the company?
I believe I do.
Is it Atlas good?
I would not say Atlas.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because I think I know who it is. And I don't think it's Atlas.
You know who it is. Is it Konami?
Capcom.
I think it's Capcom.
Trauma Center.
Oh
No.
no. All right, Capcom. What? So Capcom DS. Okay, Ghost Trick.
No, I could be wrong.
Oh boy. Ace Attorney.
No,
Something.
no.
Okay. Monster Hunter.
Nope.
Capcom on the
Professor
D.
Layton.
Capcom.
Oh, confirm Capcom?
She's not sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Confirm Capcom. Capcom on the DS. We can do this.
Resident Evil something.
No.
Mega Man.
Yes.
Okay. So was it Battle Network?
I believe it's ZX.
Oh, really? Okay. We'll take it. I don't know what that means.
She said what the full name was.
Oh, I guessed Mega
You
Man.
would've
I can name
got
the
it.
Mega Man games on the DS. I have ZX and ZX Advent. I own them both, and I'm not getting rid of those.
Ooh,
Here
big
comes
words.
one from Jess I.
Zelda.
I know this.
It is not Legend of Zelda, and I believe you do know this. I am not Link, but I do know him.
This is lovely. This is like taking me somewhere.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
It is not.
Is this first party?
Pokemon.
I don't think so, but let me look it up.
I definitely know this.
Triangle Strategy.
It's not Tunic, right?
It's neither of those.
Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. This is very familiar.
It is not first party. Developed. First party.
Oh, so published by first party, huh?
Nier Automata.
What, DS?
Yeah.
Published by. All right, so Dragon Quest.
No.
Oh, shit.
Pokemon.
Final Fantasy.
No.
What is this? Is it a Square Enix game?
Breath
Nintendo
of
published a lot of
Fire,
their titles.
It's not.
Chrono Trigger.
That instrument and the melody it's doing is so familiar to me. It's a game that made unless I'm wrong, it's a game that made me feel sad.
Probably.
That's funny how like
So
I can get
train
the
related?
I can get
Or no,
get
that's
the
not sad, but crying tears
I
of
can get the
Asteroid.
emotions from it, but I can't. I want to say like the game was good but not great, but the emotions from the game are really great, and I wish the game was better. I could be wrong.
What's that
It's
game
a
you
long
played that was great? It was real inclusive, and then at the end it pooped the bed.
That was the Switch.
Oh no, yeah, this is DS. We're talking about Harmony. I don't want to give up
Lost
on
in
this.
Blue.
No.
Professor Layton.
Yes.
What?
Really?
Yes.
Curious
Published
Village.
first party. Yeah.
Unwound Future.
Cool.
Nice. Oh, I did that wrong.
And I like that tune.
Yeah, it was a nice little tune to listen to.
Not enough harpsichord or whatever,
Yeah,
which
right.
is why I didn't get it.
No MIDI violin.
Here comes one from Mikey3319. Just a moment or two. Thank you all for tuning in today.
Focus all attacks.
Radio
We
voice.
we really appreciate you tuning in today.
Just projection. That's all. That noise. I know this definitely.
Definitely.
Spooky.
Yes, Mikey actually said, here's a spooky one. Not saying the game is spooky, just the song.
Growing up, we had one of those little
Oh, yeah.
ghosts that.
Is it
Absolutely.
a Mario game?
It's not.
DS again?
Nope.
I remember
What
that.
is
Super
this?
Nintendo.
Yeah, why don't... Clock?
Yes.
What's the game?
Clock.
Clock?
Clock. Plok.
Huh.
Exclamation point.
I remember it because I've listened to the soundtrack. I've never played the game
Oh, interesting.
because the soundtrack was really interesting.
Well, I wonder why thought the song was familiar, because I certainly wouldn't have played that either.
Block, 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 block.
Block.
How are we doing numbers wise?
This will be song 7.
Okay.
Numbers.
This one comes from Rosemary the Farmer.
Or Marry the F.
Yep.
Rock band.
Dazed and Confused, the movie, the game.
No,
Guitar Hero.
Another one that I definitely know. Oh,
Brutal.
is it Guitar Room Man?
it's not.
Brutal Legend.
No,
Elite Beat Agents?
Rayman.
nope.
Yeah, why do I know? I definitely know this. What's this one?
song?
I believe Wii U.
Is this not a real song?
It is. Sounds like it is.
Are you sure it's a real song? I don't think it is.
Is it a racing game?
I mean, look, it's not a racing game. And in fact, this song, in my opinion, doesn't go with the title at all.
Oh, is it Yoshi?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Yoshi's Woolly World. And the title of the song is Lava Scarves and Red Hot Blargs.
That game's got a great soundtrack.
It
That's the one that
sounded
what's his face learned guitar just to play the soundtrack.
It
Funny.
sounded like the solo for Carry On My Wayward Son, which is what we thought it was.
Funny you say it because Rosemary says Freddie Fro and I are replaying this one. I didn't appreciate the music the first time around. Might
Great
stump ya.
soundtrack. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's very, very, very underrated soundtrack. Underrated game. It was on a Wii U though, so what are you gonna do?
And speaking of Freddie Fro,
Oh boy, bias here in the trivia. In the
nope,
music
it just
trivia.
happens to be this way we're
Yeah, I
coming
bet.
up.
Yep.
This one comes from Freddie Fro.
Another one I know right away. Or I recognize. Oh God, I remember it making me angry. It's this. Tell me this is GameCube.
I believe it is.
Beautiful Joe.
Sorry, I have to leave the song to. No, it's Wii.
Wait. Oh, is this Excite Bite or Excite Truck or Excite Bots? or-
Excite Bots.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Love the
Great
game.
job.
Don't like the music.
Is this the last one?
This is not the last
Okay.
one. We have this one and then the last one.
This one comes from Akumaju.
Yep. Chippendale.
You got it.
Ooh. Yeah.
Final level song. It's great.
Just keep thinking of like those giant red apples.
Yeah. This part's great. Yep. That Capcom guy at the time, man, I gotta learn that guy's name because he killed it. Doesn't matter what game they gave him, he was like, I'm gonna make the best music you've ever heard.
Oh God, it's so good. It's almost like that game. The gameplay in that game is so much fun that
Yeah.
it works, but it's almost like too good of music.
The
for
story of that,
you know?
man.
Like,
Yeah, all their licensed games. Well, that might have been it. I mean, obviously, it's not like we're doing a licensed game and he's like, oh, I'll do good music because he did good music all the time. But, you know, I guess if you're working with Disney licenses, you're like, let's put our top guy on this. So their
Man,
music guy went in and made some bangers.
kills it with what he had to work with too. Like,
Yeah.
man.
Yep. Strong melody. That's all it takes.
Last song for the week comes to us from Wired.
This is also familiar. The song of the streak of songs that are familiar, but I can't get right away.
Life is strange.
That's
True
where I was gonna
Colors.
go. Not Life is Strange at all.
Nope.
Firewatch.
No.
That's a great guess. It's not Harmony, is it?
No.
I feel like I know this.
That game that was like a. Did you play it?
this game.
Yeah.
No.
Switch.
Yes.
Man, I was gonna go right for Life is Strange.
So it's something,
Oxenfree?
No.
something in that realm then.
I would think. Is that right? The right genre?
I don't know.
Okay. It's right there. I know I've played this.
Gone Home, Edith Finch.
Mm-mm. You want to hear something really bizarre? This song was sent exactly a year ago today at 5:39 p.m.
Wow.
and it is
close.
now 6:10.
Close.
Yeah, that is wild. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
So they've been waiting a year for this song to be played on the show?
We don't know Mom Brain's methods, but hopefully they're listening. Are we
This
giving
is
up on this?
I don't want to, but I mean, what else am I going to do? I'm trying to think, because if I've played it, that narrows it down quite a bit, but I can't think of...
I'm sorry, we said Switch, right?
It is Switch.
Did you say Night in the Woods for this one?
I didn't.
Night in the Woods.
It is not Night.
Oh, I thought you had us. I thought you
Man,
saved
that
our
would've been
butts.
good.
It's God. Life is Strange fits so perfectly for me.
Death's Door.
Mm-mm.
It's like narrative. It's a. I feel like it's a
like
narrative
Norco
adventure.
Or Meg's Monster or Backbone.
Still haven't played that. I want to.
What's the new name of it? It's not called Backbone anymore.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, this was sent a year ago, so Backbone. Dang it. It's going to drive me crazy because I swear I know this.
Yeah, I'll give up when you want to give up, but I know it's painful.
Well, then I guess we should just give up. I'm kicking myself because the first song I should have known too, and this is the last song and I should know it.
All right, the man says he's
Is there a
out. I'm
hint
out.
that we can have?
Yeah, I'm
or-
looking to see if I can maybe give you a hint.
Give us the developer.
I'm trying.
If you just go to the wiki page, the developer will be on the right-hand side.
I have a publisher. Does that help?
Sure.
Humble Games.
Okay. Hollow Knight.
No.
You don't have a developer? Like the very first part of the wiki page should be like this game made by and published by.
Got it. Developer Old Moon.
Oh Jesus, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we're throwing it in the towel.
Yeah. Hate to do it.
All right. It is Ghost Song.
I never played it.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
played
familiar.
it. I played it. Oh, that pisses me off. Oh, yeah, and I didn't play it that long ago either. Yeah, it's a Metroidvania.
Man, I feel like
That sucks.
Never heard of it.
What's weird is I feel like I've heard that song, but
And that was it, right?
makes me feel a little
That's
better.
it. Got 8 out of 10 though. That's not bad.
6 out of 9.
6 out of 9. Son of a
I don't know.
bitch. Oh, I knew that. The rest of the game has such unforgettable music, or it's mostly ambient noise, but there's that song that you only hear that during conversation scenes. Bummer. Well, unless you have anything for us, that's the end of the show.
I've got maybe the biggest
Oh
rumor
my God.
you've ever heard. It came across my desk earlier today.
What an
And you've been
honor.
sitting on it all this time?
I've been sitting on it this whole time, which is probably why I've been so distracted. So, ladies and gentlemen, Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels.
Oh, with Deux Michaels this time, not starring Deux Michaels.
It's been with for a few weeks now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks for noticing.
Starring,
Sorry.
starring, I felt was a little pompous, but
the rumor is the starring. You're just the vessel through which it gets delivered.
So, as you folks know, I get my spiders and my flies around town to figure out the latest and greatest video game news that's rumored, and I bring it to you. So,
Perfectly said.
Well, at least that's usually what I do. This time around, I'm afraid that the rumors 100%
Oh
true,
my God.
ladies and gentlemen.
What an
So
honor.
we're
What
dealing
an
with
occasion.
a trumer of the week. So earlier today, when we were talking about casting in Zelda, and we were like, we're not going to know any of this stuff. We can't know it. We're not going to know for a long time. And that long time is now. We found out one actor that's going to be in the show now.
By show you mean movie.
By
Just
show I mean movie.
Okay, just making sure.
And it's really, really great. So it's not any of our big three Triforce wielders. It's the character, you may have heard of them, Tingle, and they are going to be played by Harvey Firestein.
Wow.
And it's perfect. You should see him. Yeah, exactly. You should see him in the Tingle outfit. It looks good.
Oh, I
Period.
that the movie's gonna get my money just for that.
Oh yeah. But what's funny is I mean, this is true. So, but like, I think he Tingle kind of looks like him in the outfit. So I think it's really good casting. Good casting.
Highly and Tom says Harvey would be great as Tingle. Instant ticket purchase. There you
Of
go.
course, in my head, I've still got the Harvey Firestein from Mrs. Doubtfire. You know,
Yes.
like so
He might be slightly older now.
Yeah, he
but-
might look a little
That's
older
what we're
now,
all
but
It just needs a little just for men.
Well,
and
that's
we're good.
looks so natural. No one can tell. That's the greatest true rumor you've ever delivered us. Thank you so much.
My
Oh, there he
pleasure.
is in the chat. That's his reaction when he got
It's
pitched
really,
the movie.
really perfect.
All right, everybody. Like I said, stick around in the after show if you want to hear some other stuff. But for the regular show, that's it. We're done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Everybody, goodbye.
After show.
Next week.
900. Yeah. You plan something out? We'll do it. I got nothing.
I've got nothing.
All right. Then 900 regular show it is.
I'll make a cake.
I'll think this week. People had Attack on Titan questions. I heard they wanted to hear Attack on Titan. We'll talk about it without
They
spoilers.
just wanted to know what you thought. If you had watched the
I did watch the finale. Do also watch the finale, and I believe we both greatly enjoyed it.
Yeah, loved it.
I know the end of the manga left some people upset with how certain things are handled. My understanding is the creator went into the anime and didn't really change a ton, but added in a few lines that certainly painted things in a different light, and people seem to appreciate that a lot more. So that's good. But as an anime only viewer, one of the best shows I've ever seen. I think the story it tells and the layers it offers and the nuance it provides, and to have that amount of all of that in your head and put that together and in a way where you're not like, oh, they thought this up to extend it, or they didn't know what to do here. There's none of that.
Totally thought like second season and then third season that they were just making it up. And I was like, there's no way this is going to have a satisfying tie-in. And over the fourth and then finales, it just tightened up the threads so perfectly. Like and the fact that it was all planned from the start like that, so impressive to me. Because for a while, as an audience member, kind of in the dark, you're like, this is getting. I mean, it was crazy with just the naked guy kaiju, but
Yeah.
it's
It's funny how the show starts and you're like, what the hell's going
Yeah,
on here? And then
exactly.
season 3 is going on and you're like, what the hell's going on here?
Exactly.
And then at the end of the show, you're like, man, we went through a lot, but it all makes sense. Like it all
really-
works.
It really does. And then when they try to, like in the fourth season, when you think you're almost too overwhelmed, and then they switch up characters to the quote enemies, and then you after a couple episodes you find yourself aligning with them too, and it was just so
kind of like
well
The Last
done.
of Us, where like you're forced into a storyline perspective where you're like, I don't want to see this, I don't want to do this, and then as it goes on, you're like, this is important that I did this.
Exactly. So
yeah.
it's so well done in that way, and I think were the first when we were speaking of it to compare it to Game of Thrones, except if it ended good, because it has all those elements of the characters that you thought were just so one-dimensional, and then you find out that there's this whole other part to
Yeah.
them, and you can see why certain things were done and how hard it is for certain decisions to be made, and just all this stuff happening. Except they nailed the landing. I thought it was really
it's
really
impressive.
good.
I can't really think of another show that was that deep and provided that much and maintained that quality from beginning to end, storyline wise. Animation had its issues along the way. Certainly, the fourth season looks great. Like, that's a great looking season.
Yes,
First season looks great. 2 and 3 are very rough, but story wise is what really matters. And beginning to end, there was never a moment where I was like, "Come on," or like, "What's going on here?" Or like some MacGuffin or something. None of that. Nothing where it leads you astray to make you think one thing and they're like, "Oh nope, never mind." It's none of that. It's like a very solid.
And
I mean,
and the way
it's
they
impressive.
wrap up, I guess you could call it the epilogue, which is it's just no dialogue. You're just watching the credits and like stuff is happening in the background, passing time, and just that little part was so. I don't know. It just felt. I know it's a fantasy and it's a weird story that could never ever happen, but like it felt so real in that moment. Like it felt.
There's
like
something about that feeling.
That was a realistic way to end. Like you could see in real life something like a cycle like that happening.
You're right. It gives you the feeling of like, even though the world doesn't exist, it gives you a feeling of like continuing on. Like it helps it realize it more, I guess. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. If you haven't watched the whole show, now's the time to do it because you don't have to wait 10 years to watch it all. You could watch it all now, which is, I guess, basically what I did for most of it. I watched the first season as it aired live, and then I waited 9 years until I got into the show thanks to Do and picked it back up. And man, it was great. It was great. So there you go. That's what we think about that. Mom Brain, you want to talk about the Marvels?
I really, really loved it. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm sorry. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to be very careful about what I say.
I just mean project. You don't got to go deeper or anything.
I very much enjoyed a lot of it. Again, I if I talk too much, I risk spoiling it. But there was definitely a lot of relatability as a woman with some of the relationships, and
there's certainly things I got and understood and enjoyed seeing, but obviously I don't want to say you'll appreciate them on a deeper level. You will, but you'll appreciate them on a level I'll never be able to appreciate them. Like I can say I really liked it because of that, and we would say the same thing, but you are a woman and I am not. So
there were certain things and even just I felt like attention to detail in some of the settings even portrayed like a feeling for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very fun. I used the word entertaining, which I then said to Ramit, like kind of felt a little bit like it cheapened.
Using the word entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining sort of cheapens it a little because that's not really.
That's like you're trying to find something nice to say.
It transcends that.
Yeah, like it was more than entertaining, but
entertaining.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was brisk.
Yeah.
Like I could not believe we were at the end of the movie when we were there because it felt like the pacing in the movie, it's got to be one of the best paced Marvel movies I've ever seen. Like it just, you're going through it and nothing feels rushed, but it keeps a clip of entertaining stuff.
That's
like,
how I feel.
No real downtime or anything like that.
That's how I feel about watching Craig Ferguson. It's the same kind of thing where you're like, you're like hanging on every like moment and you're enjoying yourself the whole time. There's just not a point where you're like, all right, like, are we done? Like I could be done now. Like it just, I don't know. It was exciting the whole time. I couldn't wait to like see. I was delighted. Perhaps that's the word. Delighted.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's more than just like, Goose the cat is in it, and that's why Mom Brain liked it. That's not the thing. Well, if you like cats, then you'll probably like this movie.
I mean, I think it was on TikTok. There was like an ad where there's just a bunch of cats. So I guess that's.
Well, spoiler alert: there are a lot of cats in the movie.
I haven't watched a trailer, so I don't know anything.
Yes, there are a lot of cats, but yes,
But even if
I really
there weren't,
liked it.
yeah, I would still have.
And
thoroughly
I
enjoyed
say
it.
I know Mom Brain's not a fan of the fight scenes, but
Any fight
um,
scenes.
in any movie, yeah.
Yeah,
But
They
just-
talk out their problems in
the
this one.
I just I
the
just feel like
fight scenes in this one are. I felt they were really fun to watch because of the dynamic of what's going on. Spoiler alert: you see this in the first 5 minutes of movie. I mean, you know this is going on if you watched Miss Marvel. The three main characters are changing places with each other. I won't say why, but that lends into the fights. So like fights will be they. I don't know how they did it. They must have. I don't know what
probably
they
with a
did.
computer.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but still, like the fight scenes have characters swapping in and out and fighting the same enemy. And it's not like the enemy steps back and somebody comes in. Like one superhero starts a punch and then it transforms into the next person and they follow through and like fall over because they weren't ready to be there at that moment. Like it was just really cool. And there's fight scenes where you see like they start to figure out, oh, this is why this is happening. And they adjust on the opening fight scene, I was like, I didn't know how they filmed it. I couldn't because you're in multiple locations watching everybody go everywhere. And I was like, how did they even put this together? But yeah, the fight stuff was cool. But yeah, I liked the movie. And here's the only thing I will say. No spoilers, but obviously Marvel people know to stick around for the end credits. If you've seen the commercials that are like, the MCU, this is the moment where things will never be the same or whatever. It says something like the moment you need to be there to see.
I haven't heard one commercial like that. But go ahead.
Dude, will you back me up here, please?
I was reading the thing. What was the last
The
thing?
commercials that are like say roughly like this is the moment you need to see, like be there for the Marvel,
general,
the thing that changes Marvel forever.
Well,
or
yeah,
whatever.
I haven't obviously seen the movie, but the trailers were ticking me off from like a baiting standpoint.
He asked me if that's
Oh,
what's going.
The commercials for Miss Marvel.
The last couple
Marvels.
The last couple weeks, that's what the trailers have been. Yes.
Oh, I hate
Before that,
I hate
no. Well, that's what I'm saying.
the biggest, for the first time ever.
But
Well,
it was
Like
more
that.
than that for me. It was like, oh, men aren't going to want to see this movie, so let's put Robert Downey Jr. in the front, and let's put the white Captain America in the front, like in flashbacks, and then you barely even saw Kamala in the trailer.
Trailers in the last couple weeks, definitely.
I had
yeah.
no idea she was even in the movie. I was like, I thought she was in this movie. I was like, looking the.
VP?
Not to be.
Yeah. What
Khan.
I just can't remember her superhero name, which is so silly.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. It's the easiest thing to remember. But
But yes,
Yeah,
when,
right.
when the things they're saying in his
How can I
ad,
miss
like
this?
like
Bus
do
that couldn't slow down.
like do brought up it. I mean so there's like a moment that happens before the credits even start that is like separate from what goes on in the movie, and I was like, oh my god, that's really exciting. And then there's the mid-credit scene, and I can curse, I lost my shit. Like I was literally on the edge of my seat. I smacked the table in front of me. The guy behind us clapped for like 10 seconds straight, just like going like this the whole time. And other people in the crowd were like, oh, you could hear people were reacting. The biggest end credits thing I've ever seen in a Marvel movie, in the MCU. Like I think hands down,
It was
no
a whole
contest.
other movie.
They did that with Doctor Strange. So this is bigger than that. But yeah, I was shocked on multiple levels. So yes, even
Shocked
like
and
I said,
charted.
if you don't care about this
Shocker.
movie, that's fine. Go online. The spoilers are there. Read about what happens if you don't have any intention on seeing the movie. But if you do, stay far away, but be prepared for something in there. There's a mid credits. There's no post credits. So the mid credit scene, you'll know it when you get it.
Oh, it's only mid credit.
There's the scene before the credits start that is something they haven't done before. That's very much setting up something else. Then they do, the fancy credits with all the animations and everything.
And then a mid.
Then there's a special scene, and then it's just regular black and white credits, nothing after that.
And it goes right to blue screen at the end.
Well, he didn't stay, so I don't know.
So you don't even.
know
he looks it up beforehand. You know
Thank
what
you.
he does. He
Thank
goes
you.
to Jeeves.
Yeah,
and
I
he
always
asks him.
I ask Jeeves. Yes, I always double check. Like
He's always looking out for you.
every episode of Loki, I go on to read the thing on Reddit, and it's like there's a post credit scene, say in there. So
Oh
You know what
no!
bugged me?
not in
There were
not
post credit
Loki.
scenes. There were post credit scenes.
First episode.
And more than that.
First episode. Positive. It's the McDonald's one.
I'm I could have sworn there was another. Maybe it wasn't Loki that I was watching.
I'm not trying to be like, actually, I'm 100% sure
There was
that in Loki season 2, it was just the McDonald's scene. That's
well,
it.
there was something else that I watched that has post credits, or oh, maybe it was. That's what it was. Our flag means death.
Oh no,
That's not part of the MCU.
Has no, but
Why?
Max would start scrolling and then do the countdown to the next episode, and it would go to it. Whereas sometimes when that scroll doesn't happen, you know that there's a scene
I was going to say
watch.
that's the good thing about Disney Plus.
But why would
until
you
it
do that?
shrinks, you know something's
Why
coming.
would they do that?
The Max app
'Cause Max is crap.
the worst.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
tell you. It doesn't tell you how far into the movie you are anymore. They switched the whole subtitle and language description.
I'm watching
don't get me
Scavenger's
started
Reign
on this Max.
When I'm watching Scavenger's Reign on Max and I want to go to the next episode, I can't. Sometimes it'll show me the button to go to the next episode. Sometimes I have to minimize, go out. Like I'm doing it on my laptop, so I got to minimize, exit out, go to the thing, scroll across, then click it. But every once in a while, it's like next episode. I'm like, yeah, why aren't you asking me this every time?
So annoying. One thing I wanted to ask you about Scavenger's Reign.
Yes.
You probably don't.
You're
but
finished?
I think no. I got 2 more episodes left. But I think I'm crazy. You're not going to think it. The theme song, the first part of the theme song sounds like one of the tunes in Wind Waker that you composed. The one that's like do, 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 do. That one, and it's like the first 4 notes are almost exactly the same.
I know the
of that.
Scavenger's Reign song, but I haven't thought of it in relation to Wind Waker.
Of course,
I'd have to listen to
I'm
the
sure
Wind...
it's not at.
I have
close
to
at all.
listen to the Wind Waker song again because I don't. You're talking about one that Link casts with the Wind Waker.
It's
2.
got a full version, but
Yeah.
you only hear the like at first. Like I
Yeah,
only-
when you're doing the
when
4
you're
notes,
doing the
I gotcha.
conducting, and it's just like
I think I know this. I would have to listen next to each other back to back, but it's not ringing a bell for me right now. But
Yeah, I got 2 episodes left of that,
then
and I
won't
have
say anything.
I have a feeling it's not going to wrap itself up, is
How
it?
many-
It's
how
going to have a
many
whole nother
episodes?
season.
9 total?
12.
12. Gosh, almost caught up to 9. Darn it!
I finished Reservation Dogs.
I'm real proud of you.
You shit ass.
I didn't know if you were saying
Oh.
that like, well, you could finish Scavenger's Reign because I finished this.
No, I'm telling you because you wanted me to
And?
watch it. I really liked it. I told Danielle to watch it. I really liked it.
I'm watching.
I know. How many episodes in are you?
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
4 or 5, I think.
In whatever way you enjoyed
Have you
it.
stopped watching Our Flag Means Death?
I haven't watched in a while, but I will absolutely finish it.
Yeah, you got to get back.
Yeah, I cannot see you not finishing that.
You
I binged it. It took me. I watched it in 2 days.
man.
Well,
it's good,
guys,
right?
we're going to continue this talk all night, and I'm happy to, but we're going to let you go.
So I'll
So
talk about Five Nights at Freddy's another time, people.
thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. We'll see you next week, everybody. Goodbye. Everybody, goodbye.
Bye.
We.
Did you watch Five Nights at Freddy's?